no complaints from New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell about President Trump's National Guard deployments to her city. She says the extra security is welcome during New Year's celebrations. Colin Arnold is the city's emergency preparedness chief. He says the Guard members will be joining an army of police officers.
It appears that we're going to have close to 800 law enforcement downtown and in the French Quarter, and I think that that's going to be outstanding. You're going to see an incredible visual presence in the French Quarter and throughout downtown over the rest of this week.
A year ago, an attack on Bourbon Street claimed 14 lives. President Trump is serving notice on Iran.
As he welcomed Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu for talks in Florida, the president warned Iran against reconstituting its nuclear program. He said the U.S. military would strike Iran hard if it attempts to rebuild that program. The president has insisted that Tehran's nuclear capabilities were obliterated after military strikes back in June. But Israeli officials have expressed concern about Iran rebuilding its long-range missile capability. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The president is warning Hamas of dire consequences if it doesn't lay down its arms, as it promised to do under Phase 2 of the Gaza peace accord. 2 more alleged narco-terrorists have been killed in an attack on their boat by the U.S. military in the eastern Pacific. On Wall Street, Dow futures are down 18 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Researchers say endangered sharks are at risk of disappearing from the Mediterranean Sea, and they're calling for action to protect them.
The great white shark is one of more than 20 shark species in the Mediterranean that's protected under international law. But a conservation research team led by scientists from the American University Virginia Tech and the British conservation charity Blue Marine says that at least 40 great white sharks from the Mediterranean have been caught and killed since January. And the BBC has discovered and checked footage posted on social media this year of an adult great white being landed at a fishing port in Algeria and what appears to be a large short-finned mako shark, another protected species, being prepared for sale at a market in Tunisia.
The BBC's Victoria Gill. A power failure in the Channel Tunnel between southern England and northern France is creating havoc for rail passengers this morning. It has authorities urging would-be passengers to postpone their plans for the time being. News and analysis, townhall.com. More Russian arms in Belarus.
Russia's nuclear-capable Oreshnik missile system has entered active service, Russia's Ministry of Defense says, as negotiators continue to search for a breakthrough in peace talks to end Moscow's war in Ukraine. Troops held a brief ceremony to mark the occasion in neighboring Belarus, where the missiles have been deployed, the ministry says. Russian President Vladimir Putin said earlier in December that the Oreshnik would soon be deployed and warned Moscow will seek to extend its gains in Ukraine if Kyiv and its Western allies reject the Kremlin's demands. The announcement comes at a critical time in the peace talks, with negotiators still searching for a breakthrough on key issues. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
China's military continues live fire drills in the waters surrounding Taiwan. Taiwanese officials report some live rounds have landed closer to the island than before. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world chin, check the number, I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it, so then go guitar and you'll be all music. I hear the talking of the DJ, the demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio, I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Eve of New Year's.
Yes, New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Indubitably.
Yeah, we are. If you love 2025, drink it in. You only got two more days of it.
And if you need to, you can literally go outside, take a deep breath, and you'll be drinking it in. Because there is super amounts of moisture in the air right now.
It's a wee bit freezing fog out there this morning, so navigate accordingly.
Pea soup thick, I believe, was the term it was used. Love me some pea. It's not as delicious as pea soup out there, but it is as thick.
Especially if you put ham in it.
Oh. Yeah, you never hear it's thick as pea soup with ham and bacon. Split pea with ham and bacon.
But so if you are out and about this morning, or as the Canadians say, oot in a boot.
Oot in a boot, out for a rip.
Then use some caution.
Yes.
Just a tip. I don't know in case you didn't remember this in driver's ed class, but when you're in fog situations, high beams are not your friend.
Nope. All you're going to see is the fog.
Yes. It shines right back in your face. But happy Tuesday. Got we're right in that creamy week of nothing going on, but I feel like I should be doing something, but I don't
know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, it's like exactly, it's that week. So day 2 continues.
Yes.
Good news is if you need to fill the void, or if you're just a huge basketball fan, day 2 of the Goddard Holiday Tournament and Pocorn Invitational continue today. 1 o'clock, the Goddard Tournament continues at the Goddard Gym at 1. They're going to be having the Berlin versus Shiprock game. And then at 1 o'clock in the Coyote Gym, they're going to have Deming versus Oregon Mountain. Pocorn Tournament will get underway at 6 p.m. this evening at the Goddard Gym. They're going to be, first game will be Alamogordo versus Albuquerque Academy. And then in the Coyote Gym at 6 o'clock will be Deming versus Lovington. And then I think Goddard and Roswell, they'll play the games after, respectively. But those games are available at ksvptv.com, as will be all the games from the tournament.
Right.
We will only have announcers for Roswell Goddard local schools. But please go to the games if you can. If you go and get out there and spend the afternoon, hang out at the Goddard Gym or the Roswell Gym, or by golly, go to both.
Yeah.
And enjoy some great basketball and support the boosters and support. Of course, we big thank you to the Optimists for they always the Sunrise Optimists do an amazing job every year of sponsoring the Pocorn Tournament and everything. So their hospitality is good. It's pretty good.
Yes.
It's real good. But go out there and enjoy some basketball. But if you can, or if you got families that live in Deming or Shiprock, and tell them, hey, you can watch the game on the video there or ksvptv.com.
It's funny. This is that time of year where, because I'm a habitual YouTube watcher, and this is the time of year where you're really struggling to find any kind of new content because everybody's taking the holidays off and stuff. So it forces me to kind of go out of school, so to speak, and I actually have been spending some time on Netflix. I finally finished Stranger Things, or at least
I've not started that
until
yet.
the finale. Have you not?
No, not the last 4.
The 5, 6, and 7.
Well, my weekend was. I wanted to do it this weekend. Life did not allow that to happen. So I'm way behind on so many things right now. Like I got caught up on Landman last night with my wife because I want to have to wait for her. I did catch up on Mara Kingstown. Boy, howdy, that show's great. But every time I call BS on one thing, by the way. On Landman, not Landman, on not to spoil alert, but I'm going to slightly spoil alert.
Okay.
So the cartel guy gets away again. I'm sorry, but
I think she turned it on herself. Because my sound went down.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's the fine grounding that we got going on here. But hold on. Did you pat your head, rub your tummy before you sat down? Well, that's why.
Forgot
Come on. Spin around, and then sit down. Knock on your head 3 times. No, but so here's what I call foul on. Like, they captured the cartel dude, and they show him getting the business. Okay, he getting the business, and then like they cut away to another scene, and this guy escapes and kills 2 dudes. I'm like, no. After taking a beating like that, you are not just getting up, killing 2 dudes, jumping out a window, bloodied by the way, and escaping.
But here's my theory on that.
Yeah.
I think since they just, spoiler alert, they just killed the other guy that was the main character.
The one guy.
Yeah.
Thing.
So this might lead up to that storyline where they're trying
they needed to continue it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I don't buy that. You can't take that kind of beating and just escape.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't care what your constitution is, your fortitude. You can be the toughest dude on the planet. He got the snot beat out of him. I don't care what anybody says, and you ain't just getting up and leaving.
Well, one could argue that that's the show, or the writer is trying to show the strength of the antagonist.
Well, unless he has an S on his chest. Ain't no ways.
But this guy has managed to pretty much keep getting up every time he gets beat.
I call foul on that one. I mean, he is a human being. He's not this ain't Ivan Drago. He's a machine. No, he's a human.
He's not a big human either.
I mean, he has broken bones. He ain't just hustling off. Frolicking out. They didn't show that part. I pictured it that way. But I mean, I love that show, but that one was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry. That's not real. I can buy a lot of this other stuff, but no.
That's where I draw the line.
But people are saying, going back to Landman, that it's a snooze fest.
It's a little slower this time. I think it's a lot of character building.
Yeah.
Like, you're learning a lot about the characters. Like, they're really focused on the son and the fiance. So I don't know how
people
far
don't
along
like her. There's a lot of criticism that they do not like her at all.
She's
They're
real.
comparing her to Monica from Yellowstone.
Really?
Yeah.
Or Skylar.
Yeah.
Like a Skylar situation.
I think she's about as real as it can be.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they said that they're calling Cooper a simp. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might see that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. He's just a nice dude. He's just
He
trying
is.
to be. He put it this way: he's a young man that is very courteous.
Yeah.
But has 0 skills with the ladies. That's all that's going on.
So a simp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
But he's not. He's more masculine than that.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I still would. He's just bad with women.
Hey, simping ain't easy.
I mean, the rest of his life's not so simple.
Right. That's fair.
I figured it'd be the overtop Ali Larder character.
They don't like her either.
I like her, but she's
they
just
said
certifiably crazy.
They said that Taylor Sheridan does not know how to write women in anything.
Wow.
But they all
I
love
guess.
Beth from Yellowstone.
Yeah. They said he does not. He writes them blonde and bimbo, basically.
Tell them to watch Lioness.
Yeah.
Lioness. Yeah, watch Lioness. That's a little better representation of women from Sheridan's camp, I guess. I'm writing them,
Yeah.
That's the one where, because they're all fighters and they're all like special ops people and stuff. So, yeah, they don't make simps in special ops.
Also, no beardos.
Exactly.
Although I questioned some of that.
Yeah.
Like, I was in the military, and I've seen some unsavory types in the military. I mean, as far as not so svelte type, question the regulations there.
Sure.
But Special Forces guys aren't those people. And when you got the oil wheeler fat dude from Lamb Man playing a Special Forces guy in Lioness, it's a bridge too far.
It's a little bit of a stretch.
Hey, sometimes they eat well too. Okay, they're allowed to expand their waistline.
Yeah.
They made the initial cut. That's the point.
I get that they're supposed to blend in, but not that much. But yeah, so. But anyway, so now, but Stranger Things, because that's like a 4-pack here. I got to get, and to be honest, I have not caught up with Fallout, but I'm trying to hold out to get 2 episodes in a row, and I'm just going to marathon it. So I'm last week's behind on that one still, and then there's a new one coming out I think tomorrow. So,
Wednesday.
Well, yeah. So I'm trying to say, all right, well, I'll just save it and have 2 episodes to watch later. So
That's our problem is we binge watch it, and then we don't have nothing else to watch.
And that's sort of how I was with Stranger Things with this last the back half of the season. I'm like, I want to put it off a little bit, so I'm at least a little closer to.
Well, at least Netflix got the fact it's like, give us more 1 episode at a time. You know what I mean?
I don't want to. So people are comparing the 7th episode of this season to the 7th episode of the 2nd season.
Yeah. All I know is I've spoiled enough to I know one of the characters comes out and everybody's mad about it.
Right.
Or saying it was horribly done. I don't know.
It was well done.
Yeah.
It was. I feel like maybe he should have. It should have been said differently.
My point is, at this point in the juncture of the show, why even worry about it at all? Is that even relevant?
Okay, so it is for a reason.
Okay.
And this is kind of what I've been reading online, is. Since this isn't really much of a spoiler, if you're caught up with the first 4 episodes,
yes,
this isn't much of a spoiler. Vecna is in Will's mind.
Yes,
like he's in Vecna's mind, but Vecna is likewise in Will's mind.
It's like Harry Potter. They're a hive. Voldemort. They got the same thing.
Right. They're a hive of each other. He's who was marked, and so in being marked,
the Duffer Brothers, I think, stole that from Harry Potter.
A little bit. Kinda. It's a way of Will clearing his conscience, because that's understandably it's different in 2025.
So his conscience sewer.
In 2025, it's a different perspective than it would be in say in the late 80s when true. Being gay wasn't exactly
celebrated.
He's gay.
Yeah,
right. So one could argue that could be a thing that not that Vecna could reveal, but that Vecna could torture him.
Use as a tool,
right?
Leverage
to torture his own mind, and so by clearing his conscience and letting people who are important to him know that then that's. But it's less that he never actually says I'm gay.
Gotcha.
He says, and this isn't the spoiler because this is in a lot of the memes. I don't like girls. That's just that's how he put it. But a lot of people are using that as like.
Well, in 1980s terms,
right.
That's what that means.
That's
today that can mean anything.
And it's probably how you would probably have to put it to your loved ones back then, because you didn't want to say I'm gay.
So I can put that together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in 2025, you say that like okay, a donut. What are we talking?
Well, that's I don't like girls. I also don't like guys. I'm into bots.
Yeah. I like good deals on DealDash.com.
I have a soft spot for savings.
All right, let's get the hour going. On that note, we're going to replay our interview we had back on the 15th with Elliot Rodriguez from Loan Depot. Just always giving us sage advice when it comes to procuring and purchasing a home. So we're going to play that conversation we had with him earlier. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have Lieutenant Charles Drake join us with the Chavez County Sheriff's Office. Of course, with the New Year's celebration upon us here, he's going to, of course, come on and remind us, be safe out there, and just give us an update through the Sheriff's Department as well. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to replay our interview we had earlier in the month with Matt Bristol from Bristol Law. And he always joins us to give us good legal advice. And he kind of, this year, talk about the year in review now that we're at the end of the year. It's always that time to sit down with your family and talk about the assets and where they are and who gets, in an event of something, who goes where to what and whom. And so we talk about that kind of stuff here in this conversation. So we will play that for you here about 9:15. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of cloud cover early today, but we get more sunshine toward afternoon, and we're headed for the mid-40s to low 50s. Overnight, a few clouds, mid-20s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, mid-50s on the afternoon high. A few clouds on Wednesday night, and then a mix of sun and clouds New Year's Day. We will have a little bit of sunshine, though, our high in the upper 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, a balmy 23 degrees right now with some freezing fog out there. Humidity is at 96%. Winds are calm at the moment. Freezing fog advisory will remain in effect through 9 a.m. this morning. For today, we're, like I said, expecting that areas of fog. They say 10 a.m. is about the time it should be all gone. Mostly sunny for today. A little warmer than yesterday. 51 our expected high. That's pretty good. That's more in line with what we're used to seeing about this time of the year, right? Winds will be out of the south at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 23. Once again, with south winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your New Year's Eve, tomorrow, mostly sunny. Looking at highs in the low 60s, 61 degrees for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, if you're going to go out and ring in the new year, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 33. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your New Year's Day Thursday, mostly sunny, 71 for a high with winds out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny and 71 once again for the weekend. Saturday, sunny and 71. Sunday, sunny and 72. So after we get through, actually today, and it's not, we're 50s today, but the week's going to gradually get warmer, turn downright pleasant by New Year's and the weekend here. All right, it is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Elliot Rodriguez from Lone Depot. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Artesia General Hospital presents expert tips for a healthier cold weather season. As temperatures drop, your risk for seasonal illness rises, but small daily habits can protect you. First, strengthen your immunity. Get your annual flu vaccination and keep hands clean. Second, maintain balanced nutrition. Enjoy holiday meals, but focus on vegetables, lean proteins, and mindful portions. Third, protect your skin. Heated indoor air pulls moisture away from your body. Apply moisturizer twice a day and stay well hydrated. Healthy routines don't need to be complicated, just consistent. These healthy living reminders are brought to you by Artesia General Hospital, ready to take care of you and your family.
Taste the flavors of Thailand and beyond at Lemongrass Restaurant in Roswell. Authentic ingredients like holy basil, Thai chili, and kaffir lime. Original recipes including curry, pad Thai and pad see ew, and egg drop or tom kha soups. Friendly service, authentic flavors, and
a little or a lot of spice, but everything's nice.
Open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday at 610 South Main in Roswell. Call ahead, 575-208-0411. Lemongrass Restaurant in Roswell. The flavors of Thailand, right here at home.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 6,000 fellow Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success. That's what we're about.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
This morning from Lone Depot, Elliot Rodriguez back with us. Good morning, Elliot.
Good morning, Roswell, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We are about a week and a half away from Christmas.
We are almost, the year is almost over.
Yeah, so about time to get ready. And, of course, for folks not familiar, Elliot joins us each and every month from Lone Depot. Elliot is the person you see, hopefully, before you go out and talk to a real estate agent about getting a home. He's the one that, procures the finances, and basically you go in and do the process with him, and then he'll say, okay, well, guess what? We can approve you for $200,000. Go find a house for $200,000, and then you can go look for a house. That's what Elliot does. So
Gotcha.
But so each month he joins us, and then we just talk. He really like working with first-time home buyers and folks like that, and helping them navigate the process, because it can be intimidating if you're not doing it all the time. And then some people do it all the time, and just because you do it all the time doesn't necessarily mean you know what you're doing all the time.
Yeah, very true. I mean, let's be realistic. Some of my competitors, just want to put it like that. Some people don't care enough about some people. Okay,
sure.
And it's too bad to say it like that, but it's actually true. Because, folks, I was there. I was one of I was one of you one day in the past.
It goes from looking at them as a commission check to an opportunity to be a client, and that's kind of how you have adopted how you work with folks. Is like, look, it's sure nice to make a commission check off these. That's what feeds my family.
Well,
pays
it's
the
my
bills.
career either way.
But ideally, when your next change in life happens and you're ready for another house or another property, or the kids, they grow up and they're looking for their first property. Whatever that is, you want to be that person. They say, okay, it's time for you to make a house or buy a new house or whatever. Time to call Elliot. That's kind of what that's how you build your business model.
I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, you probably want me personally.
Yeah.
I want to go where I'm going to be taken care of properly.
Sure.
Okay? I mean, I'm not saying that there's no folks out there that take care of people well. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's
a lot
some,
of people do.
There's some. A lot of them do.
A lot of good ones out there, but not everybody is.
But you want to get somebody that can go, above an extra, the extra mile for you and take care of you and look at, uncover every stone to make sure that you're taken care of.
Absolutely.
The process of buying a home is very stressful, very complex. Okay, there's so many rules, so many things that a lot of people don't realize.
And one little thing can change the whole course of it.
One little
very
tiny
easily.
thing,
Something very trivial and stupid can do that. Yeah.
And you'd be surprised, folks. So, at least my team and I, what we are, try to deliver every single day is to deliver that dream of owning a home.
Sure.
Okay.
Help you navigate through those little moments.
Exactly.
Of, oh yeah, they want to know this now, or they want this, or they want to know what you had for dinner last night. Whatever it is.
And I don't care how big or small the loan is. Okay. Obviously, I do have limits, folks. But we don't really care. If it's a small loan, you're going to get taken care of just like $1 million.
Whether it's a $50,000 home or
exactly.
a $3.5 million home, you're going to treat them people the same.
Don't forget those $3.5 million. Come and see me. No, but you know what? The fact of the matter is that's it's a true fact. And I hear it all the time. My guys hear all the time. And like, I went this, I went there, and they didn't take care of me. And then my guy said, no, but you pre-approved. And then I said, you're pre-approved. A lot of times, some people don't tend to take care of the people the way they should because it doesn't seem to be, important enough.
The juice doesn't seem worth the squeeze to them, yeah.
And it's too bad because the fact of the matter is there's rules out there. That saying, don't judge a book by its cover. You also, translate into mortgage just the same. And I'm just going to put it that if you ever feel like somebody has not treated you correctly, you go somewhere else and they take care of you. Hey, by the way, not being mean or anything, I know it's Christmas, but it's time to start putting things in perspective.
Absolutely.
You can report those people that didn't take care of you, okay? If they didn't give you the time of day, which is wrong, But if you don't want to do that, it doesn't matter. Just come to us and we'll take care of you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
that's the same.
When you have, especially if you're, when there's, and it's easy, especially if you're dealing with a client that is new or not knowledgeable on this stuff, and so. Sometimes if, these folks, like you said, I'm trying to get the most buck out of it. And to be honest, you'll have the practical conversation with them. Where it's like, look, okay, if I crunch the numbers here, I can get you in a $300,000 house. But that being said, that's going to probably exasperate all of your income.
Yeah, if you push your limit, you might be very tight.
Or by the way, yes, you have this nice home, but do you have the furniture and the things to put in this home? Because you're going to need to buy that, and now, great, you're in the house, but now I can't afford anything else. So we're sleeping, we're sitting in lawn chairs and sleeping on air mattresses in here because I can't afford furniture for the place.
And folks, we work for you, okay? I mean, just look at us as like an attorney. I mean, an attorney doesn't have, if you don't have no clients, the firm is closed, okay? I'm just the same way. I'm here to work for you, to take care of you. So it doesn't matter what the situation is. If I can get you approved, I'll find a way and get you approved. If you follow my lead and you do what is asked of you,
sure.
Because let's be honest, folks, you have to, put a little skin into the game as far as what it needs to be done.
Sure.
And that is to be honest, that's one of my biggest, problems that, people don't seem to move forward, getting us everything we need. But if you give your lender everything that is needed,
sure,
it's the lender's job to deliver this to you. Okay. Now, in my particular, scenes, I'm pretty sure I got deals that, were very difficult. And it's funny because the customers tell me, oh, my apologies, I'm sorry. It's like, no, you don't need to apologize. We work for you. Okay. We will take care of you all the way to the end. Doesn't matter how big or small the loan is. We're going to deliver this for you. I don't have any other agenda. We spoke about this before here. There's no other agenda. If I can, get you done in 10 business days, let's do so.
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, looks really good for me anyway.
Sure.
But if you have a little more of a complex situation, which it happens once in a while, folks. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to help you.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Well, life gets complex.
Exactly. I've been there.
You deal with a bankruptcy or divorce, and things get complicated quick all of a sudden. Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about that with me and my team, because we will uncover every stunt to take care of you. And and I was talking about with my wife, like, it's the end of the year. What are we going to talk about? Today. It's like there's so many things to talk about.
Sure.
Folks, do not be afraid of what's happening in the year. Do not be afraid of what's happening with the politics. Don't be afraid of what's happening with the market. The market is going to continue doing what it does, up and down, up and down, up and down. And hopefully, if you talk with people like me, we will guide you properly, and we will get you the best deal possible every single time anyway.
Absolutely. It's like you said time and time again on the show. You can't let times dictate when you need a house.
No, not at all.
Your lifestyle dictates when you need a house. And it's just, sure, it's sure nice to get in the game when interest rates are down and everything else, but that's not ideal for everybody. And it's also not ideal for you to wait 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, or however long it is before you think the interest rates are going to be perfect. That's a game for someone that's already in the game and they own a house, and there's no, need to say, I got to move this week, because they're just saying, you know what? I can live in this house for years, but I can wait it out a little bit.
I know.
I'm good, but that's the only time you ever do that. But if you're needing a house and it's your first time house, it's just whatever it is.
Some people will say, oh, but you guys are saying that in the radio because, of course, you want us to do loans with you, and you make more money. The fact of the matter is, you're going to go and get a loan somewhere.
You got to live somewhere.
Might as well come to the place that they're going to take care of you and look at you as a person, as an individual, not like a number. And let me tell you something else that is more important to me. I believe everybody deserves to own a home, okay? If you have the itch and you've been thinking about it, and people have been telling you that you can't, okay, or you think you cannot, all right, if that's the case, you need to talk to somebody like me to tell you, you know what, yeah, it looks a little complex, a little difficult. You know what, but guess what? There's always light on the end of the tunnel.
Well, generally,
you do this, you do that, I will get you there.
Yeah.
I have always said, in my business, we cannot guarantee anything. The one thing I can guarantee for each and everybody out there listening is that I will take the time to take care of you. Now, folks out there, also be realistic. We are human beings. We got a lot of people taking care of that to take care of. So it's not like, one person is the only person we have. We have
absolutely
tons of people that we are taking care of every single day. So keep that in mind. But one thing that I try to do is I try to make everybody feel like they're the only customer I have. It's a very difficult thing to do, folks, but we deliver as best as we can.
Sure.
Now, one of the things that
that's why you've expanded your staff immensely in the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's why. But the thing is this, folks, don't be afraid of any of that stuff. And I just want to say, I'm very grateful that I actually came to Loan Depot. And when I did my homework and they decided to make the move to come here, which it was in January 2022. So this January will be 4 years.
4 years with
and I cannot believe how time has passed. And every year we just surpassed the year before and the year before, which is amazing. And I just want to say thank you to God, thank you to all my customers here, Roswell, all over to New Mexico, and our partners that help us. This year's been amazing. And we are trying to finish it with a bam, and I believe we will. And it's awesome to say so because, you and I talked about all this stuff before, that, how easy or how difficult it was in the past or what we did before. And because I came to Loan Depot, I did my homework. I wanted a place that I can take care of most of everybody, and that's the part that matters the most to me, okay? It's not about how much money I can make out of one deal.
Sure.
I just want to take care of every customer I have as best as I can, and my team is doing the same thing, and I actually require this from them, okay? I actually want them to be better than me in many, many ways.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of,
it's the goal that, I will hope any leader will want that,
Sure.
for their team to become even better than him.
Absolutely.
Okay? And I do that, and I see their skills. I see, the reasons why I hired each one of them, and the sky's the limit. We're not done. I tell Luis this. It's just the beginning. I was talking to Kelly the other day, and I tell her, and this is just the beginning. And they're probably thinking, it's like, what is he talking about? It's like, guys, everybody out there, the sky is the limit. It's whatever we put in front of us, and we actually decide to move forward.
Sure.
And God will bless you if you do the right thing for everybody, and you will take care of people. People will take care of you just
Rest
the same.
yourself, work yourself out. It really does. Especially when you work at a community like this, where it's we have a lot of big town amenities, but we're a small town at the end.
I know, it's something.
And everybody knows everybody, and people talk, and so your reputation is really all you got in a town like this.
Yeah,
and
a small town like this is a big deal.
And
it's a big deal.
If you have a good one, then you're going to be sitting pretty.
And I just want to say I'm grateful, to the way the year has, developed so far. What we have done for the past 4 years, almost now, it's amazing. Okay, and I keep telling the guys it is just the beginning, because, there's a lot of things that I want to do that they're not even in place just yet, that I can just imagine what else we can accomplish.
Sure.
So the path is right in front of us. It's up to each and one of us, and this goes for you, buyers out there. It's up to you to decide if you want to move forward and buy a home, okay? You move forward, you get somebody to help you like me, and we will take you to the end. If it takes 10 days, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, you do what I ask you. One thing I do guarantee, I will do everything in my power to get you in a place, and that's a guarantee that it comes from my word.
I just rule of thumb on me here, the way I see it. If you are able to afford a rent payment of $1,000 or $1,200 a month,
you should be able to have a house.
Then you should be putting that towards yourself. The only real reason I would see anyone, especially in this area, doing something like that is if you're transient. You're here because Fletzy has got you here for a year or something like. You're here, okay. So now, but if you're putting roots down here and you're paying $1,200 a month for rent, you're really not doing yourself a service. Let's put that $1,200 towards you investing in yourself and building equity, and instead of that $1,200 paying for someone else's equity, put that $1,200 into your own equity.
And it's amazing, folks, because the fact is, the experience and the knowledge that your lender has, and the goal. What is their vision? What are they trying to do? Does it look like somebody that looks at you or talk to you like a person in an individual, not just a number? It says it all in what the outcome is going to be in many ways, okay? Because I have taken care of people that, Omar told me one day, like, dude, it's amazing what we can do for somebody. I could have never thought we could buy, help these people buy a house. And it's like, if you know the rules and you know the guidelines, you don't have to break the rules. You don't have to do anything wrong. You just need to know what you can do and then deliver that to our borrowers and help them and guide them to the end. And that is the part that I love the most, And I have said it once or twice, if not even more than that. When me and my wife drive downtown or to town, it's like I help somebody buy that house.
Right.
I help somebody buy that house.
Oh,
I think it's amazing. It's the coolest thing ever.
Sure.
She says, how long are we going to be in this town? Are we going to stay here forever, or what's going to be the deal? It's like, well, I don't know. We'll see what God says, And she wants an answer sometimes because, she got her own goals just the same.
Absolutely.
And in the end of the day, folks, if you take care of yourself and you do the right thing for yourself and your family, and you got the right people to, support you and to do things, nothing is impossible.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. It really is that.
And that is the difference, on what I deliver and do for my customers. There's always a way. I believe that. There's so many rules, so many programs. It's crazy. You don't have no money enough in the bank? Let me guide you. Let me tell you what you need to do.
Sure.
If
That's the beauty of it, is like if you're not ready today or you're trying to come in today and not all the ducks line up, you build them a plan. You say, look,
just do this,
This is what we're missing today. Do this, this, and this, and come see me in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever that number is. And then guess what? We're talking, and to be honest, in the real estate world, that's nothing. 2 months is nothing in there.
I know. It's scary because I'm getting old, because every time I talk time is like a month or two passes, like, oh my God, did that just time pass?
It's not uncommon for a house to sit on the market for 6 months or a year,
Yes,
depending on the time of year. Or just now I've noticed in the recent 6 months, I'm noticing a lot more for sale signs showing up.
There's
on
a lot of stuff popping up. We talked about this before.
So I imagine with more listings, price does come down, and when you see that.
One thing I've seen is the sellers not wanting to fix anything. So it's a little scary.
As is going on.
Yeah,
right now.
and folks, I know this is not my place. Hopefully you guys are listening to your agents. The fact is, a lot of the buyers also doesn't have a lot of money to fix them either.
Right.
I got programs to do those things, but if they don't have money for the down payment and everything, obviously they cannot do that.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind out there, people that are thinking about putting their house in the market. And doesn't mean you have to, remodel the whole entire home.
Sure.
You just get it fixed that it meets the guidelines for FHA.
And if that's it. Yeah, I mean, we can have the argument about is it dated or not. That's one thing.
That doesn't matter.
As long as it's functional. The
as
water,
long as it's functional,
the plumbing works as advertised, the electric works as advertised, the building's not condemned or there's not cockroaches or termites or something, it's causing a problem.
If your agent's not telling you, let's go and check, HUD's guidelines for FHA.
Yeah.
And the reason I make the comment of FHA is simple. If the home meets the guidelines for FHA, that means anybody can buy it. FHA, conventional, VA, USDA, doesn't matter. Okay, it will have the capabilities of being sold. All right, and folks, doesn't mean that you need to put $20,000-$30,000 in the home. Just touch up and fix up a few little tiny things that at least meet the guidelines.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, and then there's cheap things you can do.
Yeah, that's true.
Literally
increase the sales price of your home.
Curb appeal types things.
Oh my God, folks! Let me tell you something. My wife and I see it all the time. We drive to a place and see signs that a home is for sale, and the whole entire front yard. I don't even want to say the grass is out of control. It's a little jungle, folks.
Yeah.
Take a minute. Cut it, clean it up. Yeah. I swear you will see what I'm talking about.
It doesn't have to look like a manicured yard, but it sure looks like it doesn't look like an abandoned property either. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. That's very true.
There's got to be a fine line here.
And you'll see that the homes will move. A little paint, a little touch up here and there. And
anything that makes it look like that the house has not been upkept is a negative. So when you see the shutters and the shingles that are half fallen off or they look like they're worn out, those are big indicators. So that stuff you should replace. If the paint is on the outside is fading and it's time to update that.
Now let me give you a good one for you people out there that are trying to sell your homes and maybe they're more in need of a normal little tiny touch up of paint. Maybe they need a little more than that. Folks, you could do a 2 or 3K loan, okay? So you could sell your house. What does that mean? Maybe you don't have the money to really fix it. Okay, I'll give you the money to fix it and then you'll sell it. It's not something weird.
Well, depending on the renovation you're doing, you'll get your money back tenfold on it.
Well, that's the whole point.
Like if it's a bathroom or a kitchen remodel.
So if you renovate your house, this is the part that's even better. If you do a refi, renovation loan, because you want to sell your property, okay, folks, when you renovate it and sell it, now you know the price of the home as well too.
Absolutely.
Because now you have an appraisal.
Yep.
So nobody can come and tell you your house is worth less. No, you already know. And you already live in it. So if you want to push the limits, like until you get the right offer,
absolutely.
But now you know because you put a little money, you took a little loan to make the difference and make your house better, so you'll be more competitive and you could sell it.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of that. That's right there. It's automatic and it's available for everybody.
And that's just where you talk with real estate agents on picking your battles on like for instance, like when I sold my house, I knew my carpet was wore out. I knew that it was time to replace it, and I was willing to replace it. But the real estate agent said, no, let's do a tax credit, basically, or an allowance for that.
Gotcha.
And so, because that's something that not everyone, the next people may want ceramic tile. They may want wood floor. They may want, and rather than you make that decision for them, you just say, look, I'm going to offer a credit off this. So.
I get a lot of agents call me, Elliot, if the house has this and that, is it going to pass FHA? It's like, to be honest, it really depends on the appraiser that goes there.
Right.
And gives you a break on that. But in the end of the day, folks, advise your seller to fix it.
Right.
Okay? And that way they can put it in the market.
It depends on, like, if it's something that's a safety or, yes, definitely.
But, for sure. But if it's something simple, they can touch it up themselves.
If it's dated cabinets, but they're perfectly fine.
Yeah, just touch it up a little, clean them up and everything.
Yeah, make it, modernize it. Sometimes Just going to the hardware store and changing out the handles and some of the hardware.
You'd be surprised.
That's what, a $30 cost can literally save you or give you thousands of dollars in your house by doing something as simple as that.
So everybody's been talking about rates.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the hot topic of the nation, if you may. Okay. And the funniest thing is overseas, not trying to advocate from anybody here, but overseas, they're loving Trump. Okay. And they're seeing what's happening in the market and everything. And I know it's not so simple of what's going on because the feds, control things. And every time we hear they dropping a quarter this, they're doing this, and they're doing that. And for when I say a quarter, I mean 0.25, okay, basis points to 1%. Okay, so it may sound like a lot. It's not a lot.
Right.
Okay, but everything counts. All right. Now what happens is the 30-year and the 10-year, Treasury is where it's adjusted, folks. So it's not literally that they go and drop quarter and it go into the mortgage, department and drop a quarter. I wish it was that simple because I would love the feds.
Right.
So right now nationwide is anticipations of being still at a 6.25 or 6.1 5, and maybe by the end of the year maybe change to 6, but it probably will not. You'll probably stay on those. That doesn't mean you cannot get the 5.7 or 5.5 and stuff like that. If you buy points, depending on the programs, you could still get some real good deals. Okay, and remember, if you did the right thing for yourself, then you get all the benefits. All right, and that's the way it work, folks. Now, they're talking about going into next year, the first quarter, and they're talking about maybe doing a quarter, discount again. Okay. We'll see how that goes. The fact of the matter is, it's like the market keeps, and I talked about this before, it's like it's healing itself little by little, okay? You cannot go for the better or the worse too much because it will destroy the market.
Right.
So if you folks out there that don't understand that, Google this stuff and you understand what I'm saying. It's not too crazy. When you start trying to figure out what they do and everything, it's like Chinese. You're going to go crazy trying to understand it. Just think of it as this way. There's positive things and negative things that happen, and because of whatever Trump says, whatever Powell says, and all that kind of stuff, it affects the market. I mean, it's very stupid. It's almost like it's almost designed so it doesn't get better a lot of times because of the things that happen. But then we have the data from unemployment and employment, and depending if it goes going up and down, it also affects the market. Okay,
Gotcha.
So there's so many factors that determine as far as the interest rates going positive or negative to the day, which is crazy, And my guys probably go crazy because I'm sending them, messages all day long about where the market's going up and down, And I hope they don't get crazy with me, but I get crazy looking at it,
Sure.
And the fact is, in the end of the day, depending on what's happening, we can advise somebody, hey, maybe you don't keep floating the interest rate. Let's lock it right now.
Sure.
Maybe tomorrow is going to be worse.
Well, you guys have to do this so your clients don't.
Exactly.
And that's why
that's what we do,
Yep.
But folks, we're going to get you the best, scenario, the best interest rate as possible every
Sure.
single time.
Absolutely.
If you're doing a program, obviously that's a little more, control because I don't get to choose, you don't get to choose.
Sure, there's
But
requirements or
exactly. It's set up in a way that's the reason why they're giving you money and everything to help you buy a property.
But generally speaking, if you're in a program, your interest rates or your down payments,
usually they're not that bad.
They're very much lower than the regular,
than the normal
going
stuff.
rate and stuff.
Folks, I don't usually talk rates, but right now, this morning, the New Mexico housing, which we had them in here before, okay, and I'm actually helping them with the community or total community. They're building homes over there, okay, and they're building homes from I think it's $265,000 to $300,000. This is brand new. I almost want to say state of the art because they have that energy efficient approach. All right, they're nice homes. I seen them inside. Okay, and the fact of the matter is today the interest rate for those are 5.75 at this morning. Okay. And the only time I can talk about that is because somebody else is that's the interest rate they're giving. That's the interest rates I have to give because of that program.
Gotcha.
All right. So don't be afraid, and if it gets better, you're going to get the benefit of that. So it really depends what's happening when they, the Treasury and all that stuff, because they go by the feds and by the IRS as far as with the interest rates up and down. But the programs are there, folks. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer to be able to buy one. Obviously, you don't get the first-time home buying interest rate, but you still get a pretty low interest rate just the same. It costs less. They give you money for the down payment.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot beat that. Okay. So it's available for you folks out there, first-time home buyers and repeating, buyers. All right. So do not be afraid of that. Do not let that be the reason why you cannot buy a house.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we are giving you the tools and the resources to be able to purchase one. All right. And if you don't have a real estate agent or you don't know one, I know them all pretty much.
Sure.
Okay. So, and I can actually, pair you up with somebody that will, meet your personality and so on. That I think that, it will work with you very good.
Sure.
And you'll be able to buy a house.
Absolutely.
And that's something that we do every day,
Once you're in the game, then you got a lot more options. Once you've made your first home purchase, you got it, and then you can sit on that.
He
for
opens
years.
the doors.
Next thing you know, you're like, your next house can be the big house. So it's just you're setting the table for that, and it's a whole lot easier once you buy the first one.
And if you work in Taco Bell, Burger King, or some small tiny job, don't worry about that. Doesn't mean anything.
Sure.
Okay.
It's prioritizing and
yes.
budgeting right. And
I help people that have those kind of jobs before, and that doesn't matter.
The sooner and younger you can get into home ownership, the better you're setting yourself up for a future for that kind of.
And folks, homes prices are still rising.
Yep.
It's somewhat steady. It plateaus sometimes, but it then goes back up and everything.
Yep.
And in the end of the day, if you wait too long, it's just going to be more expensive.
It's one of these lessons that my parents told me, and then I probably wish I listened to them more, because I probably bought 5 to 8 years later than I probably, you know what I mean?
Oh, I did it too.
Yeah,
I did it too. I know you and I started somewhat early, but not early enough.
No, not even.
When I hear somebody that's 19 or 21 and they want to buy a house, I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's something that goes in my head. It's like, awesome.
That's a go-getter. Yeah.
Because let me tell you something, folks. Not because you do a 30-year mortgage, you means you have to pay it for 30 years.
Right.
Okay?
No.
I will tell you at closing or before closing how you could pay it in 15 years, 7 years, and you don't have to kill yourself doing that.
Yeah.
Okay? So that means...
Or if you're using this house to set you up for the next house, you're paying into it, building up the equity, and you roll it over to the next.
I mean, imagine this. If somebody like me would have talked to you and I when we were like 19, 20.
Yeah.
OMG, my first home would have been paid off even sooner.
That's why you don't have to buy the mansion from the get-go and live in lawn chairs. You can buy a smaller house and then
don't overdo it, folks. I mean,
once you're in the game, you're in the game. It's a lot easier.
If you can buy a 350, but it's going to push it to so tight, okay, maybe you should be buying a 300.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? I mean, get yourself in a better position that you're more comfortable later, and then you can go bigger.
And depending on the house you buy, you can probably make it up to 350 yourself with it. If you just a simple.
That's very true.
Guess what? This had the lesser countertops. Now I can upgrade it, and now it's starting. So.
Well,
I just saw the time we're running out of it. So, but please, folks, let Elliot and his team talk to you about this stuff. If you're having questions, over the holidays, families are together, and then you realize your house is not quite meeting the needs because everyone's at the house. This is a good time to talk about that stuff. So let's sit down and set up time to talk with Elliot, and let's just have a conversation. See what happens. So you can reach. Of course, you can come by his office here on 2nd Street, 204 West 2nd, Suite 8 or Suite 5. I'm sorry, my eyes. You can go there, or the simpler way is probably just call direct on his cell, 719-237-4680. Again, that's 719-237-4680.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump suggests that if Iran thinks it can reconstitute its nuclear program, it has another thing coming. He says Iran will be hit again if it tries to rebuild its nuclear infrastructure. The president spoke at yesterday's meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. The two leaders talked about implementation of Phase 2 of the Gaza ceasefire. Among other things, it calls on Hamas to disarm. The president says Hamas had better honor its commitment to lay down its arms. The president confirms a U.S. military strike on a docking facility in Venezuela where, according to Mr. Trump, illicit drugs were loaded onto boats headed for the U.S. and elsewhere. A powerful winter storm that's been pounding the plains, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, continues its eastward march, spreading snow and ice, fierce winds and bitter cold as it goes. The Dow futures are up 4 points. More details at srnnews.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of cloud cover early today, but we get more sunshine toward afternoon, and we're headed for the mid-40s to low 50s. Overnight, a few clouds, mid-20s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, mid-50s on the afternoon high. A few clouds on Wednesday night, and then a mix of sun and clouds New Year's Day. We will have a little bit of sunshine, though, our high in the upper 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Basketball tournaments galore yesterday in Roswell. The Pokhorn Boys Basketball Tournament and the Goddard Holiday Tournament for the girls' side. Let's start with the Pokhorn, where both of the host teams won. Goddard 68-57 over Alamogordo. That was a good game. Goddard's now 5-2. Alamogordo falls to 6-3. So Goddard plays host to Oregon Mountain tonight. Roswell, meanwhile, disposed of Deming. No problem. 78-40. The Coyotes take on Paladuro from Amarillo this evening at 7:30. At the Girls Holiday Classic hosted by Goddard, it was Goddard beating Belen by a score of 58-23. The Rockets take on Hope Christian today at 2:30. Roswell beating Deming 39-24. The Coyotes take on Lovington today at 2:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Strong winter weather is affecting travelers across the United States, and many people continue their post-Christmas travel. Snow and high winds have been hitting the Midwest and Great Lakes, while the winter rainstorm is hitting the northeastern parts of the South. Hundreds of flights in the United States were canceled, and thousands were delayed by at least 15 minutes. That's according to FlightAware. Say goodbye to the Metro card on the New York City subway system. Like the subway token, the card is riding into the sunset as the transit system fully transitions to a contactless payment system that allows the riders to tap their credit card, phone, or other smart device to pay their fares. Louis Gerstner, the former CEO and chairman of IBM, died on Saturday. He was 83 years old. He is credited with turning IBM around. Peers say his leadership reshaped the company. Gerstner moved to IBM from being CEO of RJR Nabisco in April of 1993. He retired in 2002. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Happy Honda Days are here. A great new ride and just in time for the best deal of the year. Get 4.99% APR for 60 months on 2025 Honda Pilot EXL. 3.99% for 60 months on 2026 CR-V Sport Hybrid, or 2.99% for 60 months on 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid EXL. Plus, own a 2026 Honda Civic Hybrid Sport Hatchback in as little as 48 months at 4.49%. Happy Honda Days on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm here to make hot your home.
You're not Fergie's.
I have right tools for a job.
Well, you may have the proper tools, but do you know how to use them?
I learn on Croatian YouTube.
Oh no, baby. Just because they have the equipment don't mean they can get the job done. Let Fergie's work their mojo on your heating and AC unit. 622-2660.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he's from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:59, 8 o'clock. Just around the corner here, and Town Hall News in just a second here. Stay tuned. Next hour, about 8:15 or so, give or take. We're going to have join us from the Chaves County Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Charles Drake, and of course, the New Year's Eve holiday and celebrations are going to be getting underway here in about 24 hours or so. And just want to remind folks to be safe out there. You know, they will be looking for those drinking and driving folks and all that. They're going to be out and about on that, but you know, with the holidays. But we'll get an update from the LT and just update from other aspects of the sheriff's office as well. So we'll do all that next hour. Day 2 of the Goddard holiday tournament and Pokhorn Invitational get underway here about 1 o'clock for the Goddard holiday tournament with games at both the Roswell High Gym and the Goddard Gym. The Pokhorn Invitational, the boys tournament, that will get back underway here.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Attorney General Bondi says so far 98 people, the lion's share of Somali descent, have been charged, more than 60 convicted in the massive Minnesota fraud scandal, defrauding taxpayers of billions through Medicare scams and bogus child care centers, among other schemes that have allegedly run rampant for years. President Trump says he expects speedy implementation of Phase 2 of the Gaza ceasefire, suggesting the biggest challenge may be rendering Hamas harmless.
There has to be a disarmament, that we have to disarm with Hamas. So one of the things we'll talk about, certainly, but there has to be a disarming of Hamas. Otherwise, very quickly. Yeah.
The president threatens dire consequences for Hamas if it fails to disarm as promised. The past few days, Mr. Trump has met separately with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Talks held at Mr. Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. China has been growing increasingly aggressive in the military drills it's conducting off Taiwan. An update, the BBC's Stephen McDonnell in Beijing.
According to journalists on Pingtan Island, which is close to Taiwan, volleys of rockets were fired into the air from mainland China this morning. As the People's Liberation Army exercises move into the second day, live fire operations have been increased on all sides of Taiwan. The Chinese military says it's carrying out simulated strikes and a dress rehearsal for a blockade of the territory Beijing considers a rogue province. US President Donald Trump said he wasn't worried by the mass exercises as they'd happened before.
The U.S. military has carried out another strike on an alleged drug-running boat in the eastern Pacific. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Saudi Arabia says it has bombed Yemen's port city of Mukalla over a shipment of weapons for a separatist force that arrived from the United Arab Emirates. The attack signals a new escalation in tension between the kingdom and the Southern Transitional Council, which is backed by the Emirates. It also further strains ties between Riyadh and Abu Dhabi, which had been backing competing sides in Yemen's decade-long war against the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels. A military statement carried by the state-run Saudi press agency announced the strikes. Anti-Houthi forces later declared a state of emergency, blocking border crossings into territory that they hold. By some measures, China's economy is looking resilient with strong exports and breakthroughs in AI. But that's not how it feels for many Chinese citizens. They're suffering the strain of weak property prices as well as uncertainty over their jobs and incomes. News and analysis, townhall.com. It's enough to make you sour on sweets. Over the course of a year, many Americans eat an awful lot of sugar.
Up to 57 pounds per year, according to the American Heart Association. And the culprit isn't just glazed pastries and soda. Many products marketed as healthy can have a tablespoon of added sugars per serving. Nicole Lavina, a neuroscience and psychiatry professor at Mount Sinai Medical School, says to be wary of marketing terms that aren't regulated, like made with real fruit, all natural, and superfood. Healthy grocery buzzwords like those often cover up an unhealthy amount of sugar. Along with saturated fat and salt, eating excess sugar is linked to heart disease, obesity, diabetes, and other health risks. Keith Peters, Washington.
Wall Street has been in the red so far this morning. The Dow is down about 81 points, while the NASDAQ Composite Index trading 32 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelers said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Oh, it's the deuce, isn't it?
There it is. Went Cockney, huh?
Yeah.
Right on.
With the fog.
Oh, with the fog. That makes sense. Yeah. I either go, you know what? I go to like the Gordon's Fisherman, Jaws / Storm's Coming.
Yeah.
You know. That's when I see this. That's what I get that mindset. Like
you see them eyes, lifeless eyes, like a dog's eyes.
I picture like a old bearded man in a yellow.
Eyes roll black. Eyes roll back white. Get the high pitched screaming and hollering.
There you go. You want some haggis now?
Love me some.
Well, happy eve of New Year's Eve, everybody. And yeah, we finally got weather that feels like, the winter and stuff. That's kind of nice. I don't want... Actually, this isn't bad. It's freezing fog. Just don't be an idiot driving around out there.
Yeah, there are some spots. Just, watch for areas, little patches of ice that are out there.
But this will be burnt off about an hour or two from now, and then it's supposed to hit the 50s today. 51.
Yeah, just to warm up a little bit.
And then we'll be back in the 70s, I think, by like New Year's Day. So enjoy it. Although, I guess Carlsbad got some snow.
They did.
Artesia got a little bit, but
so accumulation.
Did you even see flurries here?
Honestly, I didn't even see a flake.
I don't know. LT, did you see? I mean, you were probably out and about more than I was. So did you see any kind of flurries or anything?
I did not.
No. Yeah, I think we kind of got shortchanged on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I want like a blizzard or nothing, but some snow would be
something to feel like winter.
Yeah, feel Christmassy, something.
You know what? You'll get that wish right around February.
Something I want to. Yeah. Like something I want to sit with a cup of cocoa and stare at stuff. That kind of snow.
Yeah. Just ponder existence.
Yeah, exactly. Sit on a porch and just be like, hit the world's thoughts.
I watched this. It was like a little short form video yesterday. And it was just a series, like a montage of views, basically. And it was the guy was like, dude, you know what rips when you get older? Views. He's like just sitting there looking at a screensaver in real life and just pondering, man.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I've told people my hobby is people watching. I mean, you put me in a little town square, city square on a nice day and sit me on a park bench and give me some food and some drink every once in a while. I'm content as a lamb. I'll just sit there and watch people all day.
I'm going to be honest.
You'd be amazed what you see.
That's the best part about stopping to get food in Vegas is, when you sit down, you're like, oh, finally I'm famished. And then you just start looking around. You're like, oh, this really is just a glorified example of what America is, just walking before me.
Like when I was a kid, I never got it, but now I get it. And what I mean is like when I was a kid, we go to well, in my case, it was King's Dominion. Most people Six Flags and things, but I was close to King's Dominion, Busch Gardens. So every time you go to those places and you run around, want to hit every coaster, every ride, and get a copious amounts of food. You want to do all the thing, and then you see folks that are usually around my age now. I think they're just sitting on a park bench with a soda, and they're just like watching.
Yeah.
Occasionally, a kid comes up and says, "I'm gonna do that." All right, and then they go off to do their thing, and I'm like, that sounds delightful. Just to sit there all day, eat some kind of ice cream. I mean, if it's shaped like Mickey or whatever, just sit there and watch people and what they do. Because you be at a theme park, because people let their hair down a little bit.
Yeah.
And grown people act like children.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we've earned that right. We just spent $35 on a turkey leg, all right?
You'd be amazed.
Right.
And then, like, just with people, like, nose picking to butt scratching to just the most butt awkward conversations you overhear.
That's the thing. If you can sit and, like, actually pinpoint in on conversation and hear what they're talking about, you can, like, put yourself into their lives.
And I'm not... But every person that has them tells me the same thing, and I'm a little jelly. I kind of wish I was deaf enough to need hearing aids, because every one of them says they can, like, crank them up and hear other people's conversations, like in restaurants and stuff. And I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, that sounds delightful. Especially if there's nothing going on in your conversation. Like, whatever, I'm doing this bad boy. These two are fighting.
What we need to do is we need to get Mike the exact opposite. Instead of getting him, like, one of those discreet, like, inner ear things, we need to get you a set of giant headphones and one of those, like, satellite things. You'll just be sitting there just picking up conversation.
Right, just
clearly, I'm obviously listening in, but
I feel like that's. I mean, I can't be like hanging out in people's neighborhoods and pointing at their houses, but I feel like if I'm sitting at a restaurant, that's fair game, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, the LT's it. That's legal. That's as legal as there can be.
The conversations might be directed towards you, but
right.
We're going to get that in writing.
Right. I might get assaulted, but I'm in my rights, I guess.
There's somebody holding a satellite dish over here.
You might end up on a list. You might be. You might get like the lady with the baseball. Taking it from the kid.
Oh, yeah.
Like if someone videos you.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're probably going to catch a modicum of stuff online about it.
Yeah.
You're going to be canceled, but
I need some Where Are They Nows of 2025, please. Like internet ones. Like, how these do the year in the reviews?
Yeah.
And it's always like, remember this thing? I want recaps to some of the highlights of the internet, like the lady that took the ball from the kid. Like, where is she now?
You know what? I heard, I don't know about the lady who took the ball, but I did hear that the couple, the Coldplay couple.
Yes. I saw an update on that one.
I did see a recent update that I think both of their marriages both collapsed and they were both fired. And
well, the girl, the
female.
The one, not the wife,
yeah,
the one in the video. She came out publicly, not come out, but she came publicly out and kind of addressed that situation. And then she's kind of very embarrassed and this and that, and admitted and she's now turning a new life. And she dolled herself up, and I think she's trying to remarket herself. She's trying to hawk two of this bad boy.
Right. Well, and that's kind of the beauty of some of these is you got to watch the downfall in real time. I mean, watching Hawk Tua just go from what
which
she
is
was,
another one. I'd like to know.
Yeah.
I know she kind of went dark after the big blow up of the.
That's pretty much it. She's her show still says new episodes coming or whatever, but they haven't done one since like April, I think, or May.
I would also like an update on the "These People Aren't Real" lady that was on the plane.
You know that I saw that again recently in like reference to something.
Yeah.
To some other person, to another person. It was like, I don't know who's back there. I can tell you this.
Yeah.
That's that
was.
lady.
I'd like to get a "Where Are They Now" on that one.
That would be an interesting one.
I'm telling you, I would love a whole thing on. I'm not surprised there's not one out there. Maybe I haven't looked. In all fairness, I'm not that lacking of things to do that. But these are one of those thoughts. If I'm sitting on my bench, I'd like to do. But then later on, you get another thought, and you're like, nah, something else. But anyway, if someone has something or info, please tell me.
You know what? I'll do a little digging and I'll see what I can find for you.
People are like, well, just Google it yourself. It's like, I don't want that. I want to be spoon-fed these things.
That's right. I'll put the research in for you, and we'll get the results.
You can't. See, kids, this is how we talked back in the day. We didn't have a Google thing to just look up and call each other out on as liars every 5 minutes.
Right.
You just had to believe them until someone proved you otherwise.
Right? Yep.
So that's how we learn things. But anyway, yeah, I'd be very curious. And there's a few more that I can't remember off the top of my head. Just people like, wow, just various.
Well, I can tell you this: the not real airplane lady, Tiffany Gomez, is focusing her viral fame for good, launching a new career as a content creator and influencer, and speaking out against cyberbullying while trying to move past the infamous incident.
See, if you get drunk on a plane and someone films you, you can try to make a career of that too.
All you got to do is make a fool of yourself one time, and you can get a good solid year out of it.
Oh, I just remembered another one I'd like to find out. The guy that got punched in the face by Mike Tyson on the airplane. Remember that one? About 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
I do vaguely remember that, yeah.
Yeah. And he deserved it.
Yeah.
He was all up in Tyson's business.
Right.
And I'm like, you ever heard of FAFO? You just learned it that day.
Right.
I mean, just because you're able to do something doesn't mean you should do something. And that was one of those days.
Yeah.
I don't know the guy's name or nothing, but I just remember that day I was like, I like this Tyson dude.
His name is Melvin Townsend.
Well, the name like Melvin, it's bound to be punched at some point or another.
He was harassing Tyson and threw a water bottle at his head, leading to the fight. Suffered minor head injuries, refused to cooperate with police, and while he has a prior criminal record, no charges were filed against Tyson due to the victim's provocation. Both parties requested no charges. Townsend was released for non-threatening injuries, later released, so nothing really after that.
Okay. He didn't start his own YouTube channel?
No.
I'm going to do it for good, or I'm going to take punches to the face for good. All right. Well,
I guess apparently the guy demanded $450,000 from Tyson, but he said, I'm not paying you.
Good luck with that.
Right.
The guy just let Jake Paul beat him up for a couple $1 million. I mean, come on. He ain't got that kind of cash anymore.
Did you see? I can't. The guy's name just left my head. Dang it. What's the guy who's there was a side-by-side picture over the weekend of Jake Paul and what's the guy's name that fled the country to Romania from
the
influencer, what's his
Tate?
Yeah, Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Both of them in the same position, like on the ground, like bleeding after being knocked out, because I guess he was in a fight too.
Yes, apparently I saw that too.
But it was the side by side of those two just on their knees, just in severe pain. It's like this seems like a great way to end 2025.
In my own little way, God smiled on us that
That's
day.
right. That's
people deserve.
That's the Lord's way of letting us know, hey, still with you.
Yeah. Just saying, you guys.
Things are always darkest before dawn.
You guys talk a lot of smack. Yeah, we're gonna see you get a little bit of comeuppance. I call it the trash taking itself out.
Oh,
That's the way, sometimes you got to let it do that.
The schadenfreude of the situation is just chef's kiss.
I got to stop there. I do have law enforcement. Can and will be used against me in court of law here.
I plead the fifth.
All right, let's get the hour going before I end up in cuffs.
Self-incrimination.
Lieutenant Charles Drake that's the guy who you might hear chime in from time to time there. Is going to join us here from the Chaves County Sheriff's Office. Of course, New Year's holiday here. We're going to remind folks to be smart this holiday weekend. And, of course, just get an update from Sheriff's Department, things happening in and around town here. Later on the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety. No, it's not local. I'm sorry. We're working on new local. Never mind. That's a whole inside baseball. It'll be more national news. And then my brain forgot that part. And then whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of cloud cover early today, but we get more sunshine toward afternoon, and we're headed for the mid-40s to low 50s. Overnight, a few clouds, mid-20s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, mid-50s on the afternoon high. A few clouds on Wednesday night, and then a mix of sun and clouds New Year's Day. We will have a little bit of sunshine, though, our high in the upper 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 23 degrees and some freezing fog out there. Humidity is at 96%. Winds are calm at the moment. They're giving us the freezing fog advisory in case your eyes aren't working till 9 a.m. today. For today, we're going to get this fog burning off. They say by 10 a.m. Then the sun will come out. It'll be nice, mostly sunny. 51 for a high today, and southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 23. So the nights we live in the desert, folks. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. For your New Year's Eve proper, mostly sunny, 60s, 61 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, if you're going to go out in the boot for celebrating the new year, partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 33 with south. So it'll be relatively warm, compared to 23, with overnight low of 33, winds out of the south, 5 miles per hour. For New Year's Day, you will start day one of 2026 probably wearing short sleeves at some point. Mostly sunny, high of 71. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then 71's a creamy niche. Friday, sunny and 71. Saturday, sunny and 71. Sunday, just to be funny, sunny and 72. And then Monday, sunny and 70 for a high there. All right, it is 8:21. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with Lieutenant Drake here from the Chaves County Sheriff's Office on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Wait, stop the countdown. This is your last chance to get massive savings during the year-end sales event at Roswell Ford. We need to sell 55 vehicles this week, so we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Plus, Roswell Ford needs your trade today, so we are willing to overpay, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can upgrade to a new Ford with 0% financing for 60 months, 0 down payment, and 0 payments till March 2026. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders who will push to approve your credit even if it's less than perfect. All roads lead to huge American-made savings. 0 down, 0 APR, and 0 payments till March 2026. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com.
Interest accrues from date of sale. 0 APR is $16.67 per thousand financed on 2025 F-150s, subject to lender approval. Offers not combined on select vehicles.
When you or a loved one need medical transport, Trans-Aero answers the call. Trans-Aero Medevac operates 3 rotorcraft bases and 1 fixed-wing base in southeastern New Mexico, allowing them to respond quickly to emergencies across diverse terrains. Their fleet extends coverage deep into New Mexico and West Texas, including Artesia, Carlsbad, Roswell, Ruidoso, Midland, Lubbock, and the surrounding areas. Ready to answer the call when every second counts. Trans-Aero Medevac, proudly serving southeastern New Mexico and West Texas. Flown for free, thanks to the partnership from the City of Artesia and Trans-Aero Medevac. Life support by air.
Jennifer here at Trustmark Roofing and Windows. And did you know that we get a bunch of service calls per year from people who didn't even hire us? That means they originally hired someone else to replace their roof, windows, or gutters. Then later, when a problem popped up, they tried to call their contractor back to help, only to find out that the contractor has ceased to exist. They're gone, done, out of state, out of business. At Trustmark Roofing and Windows, we have serviced southeastern New Mexico for 20 years. As a second-generation contractor, we have serviced our area through many major hail and windstorms. We have customers who are the kids of customers that we've serviced many years ago. We will be here when you need us, period. For roofing, gutters, or windows, visit trustmarkroofing.org or call Trustmark Roofing and Windows 575-755-ROOF. That's 575-755-7663.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Happy Happy Honda Days are here. A great new ride and just in time for the best deal of the year. Get 4.99% APR for 60 months on 2025 Honda Pilot EXL, 3.99% for 60 months on 2026 CR-V Sport Hybrid, or 2.99% for 60 months on 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid EXL. Plus, own a 2026 Honda Civic Hybrid Sport Hatchback in as little as 48 months at 4.49%. Happy Honda Days on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and now officially joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Charles Drake back with us. Good morning, LT. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We're still in that window. We can still throw all the monikers out there.
Exactly. Yep. Finally feeling like winter.
Yeah. Although
I
think we're kind of getting into a part where I'm ready for I think we're now in that part where people in the holiday thing is like, all right, I love the holidays, but I'm kind of running out of things to do with my hands. I need to get back to the routine a little bit here.
Yes, exactly.
Fortunately or unfortunately for you, that's probably not really a thing. Your day's the same, whether it's Hanukkah, Christmas, or just Tuesday. It's
yes,
it's
it really
pretty
is.
much the same. But that being said, how was the Christmas holiday as far as from the sheriff's department perspective? Was it about average as far as calls and things? Was it a little higher than normal or less?
It was about average.
Okay.
Nothing too extreme.
Sure.
Yeah, it was about average.
I imagine domestic calls, things like that, do tend to tick up during the holidays just because a lot of people are usually in rooms together and, what families do sometimes.
Everybody enjoys getting together with family, but at some point, they're tired of hanging out with family.
Exactly. Yeah, and then, of course, if the beer or wine's flowing and the tongues loosen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
they start flying sometimes, unfortunately. But so I imagine that kind of thing upticks a little bit here. But good news, since the weather cooperated, you're not really bailing people out of ditches or any of that stuff as much during this Christmas holiday.
Yeah, we didn't have to deal with any bad weather during the holiday. Obviously today it's foggy. So be careful
you're back
out
at
there.
it today.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't get like you missed it because you're about to get some.
Right. And he'll be back
for
tomorrow.
A good pulling a guy out of a ditch. Well, today's your day.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But I imagine, and this is kind of something, remind people, and I was kind of, talking earlier, but you guys see so many folks on the road that you got to respect the conditions of the road. And when there's potential for ice or a slick road, you got to slow down. You got to be more cognizant. Your vehicle does not act the same on it as it does on a dry asphalt pavement.
Exactly. Plus, you don't see what you see on a normal sunny day, especially with the fog.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
And the black ice, it's the reason why it's called black ice, especially if and most of the time when you see it around here, it's going to be at night or in the early morning hours when it's not light yet, and you're not going to be able to tell, and you're going to think it's pavement. Next thing you know, you lose all traction, and it really is a dangerous thing.
You won't see it till you're sideways.
It's almost worse like this sometimes than if there was full-on snow on the ground, because if you see a couple inches of snow, people, all right, they're more cognizant. The knuckle, gets hard on the steering wheel. We're like this. They're maybe kind of letting their guard down a little bit, and they don't realize they're dealing with more dangerous conditions than what they're actually driving.
Yeah, and they tend to make it worse when they start to slide. They hit the brakes. Worst thing you can do.
Yep. Yeah, because then what little control you tried to get back, you just lost. So.
Yep.
And of course, with fog and this type of stuff, do not use the high beams. The high beams, and whether it's freezing fog or just your regular garden variety fog, when you turn on your high beams, that fog acts like a mirror and reflects that light right back in your face, and you're actually going to see worse. Yep. Stick with your fog lights or low beams. And those will do you just fine when the weather gets like this too. So,
yep.
And this one's more of a personal one. I don't think there's any legalities to it, but you're kind of messing with people when you do this. And when the weather does get bad, like the snow and all that, and you're driving in the normal flow of traffic with your hazard lights on, that to me is worse, because now when you do eventually signal, no one's going to know. And the hazards are for you're pulled over off the side of the road or something where, hey, I'm off the side. Someone may not see me. Let me put these flashing lights on so they see me and not hit me. Yeah. If you're moving, the flashing light should not be on.
And it distracts other drivers. They're like wondering why these hazards are on.
Yeah.
So,
it's one thing if you're part of the safety crew hauling the big oversized load and all that, but if you're just in your pickup or your car, you don't need to be doing all
right.
that. I get it. You're like, I'm nervous, I'm cautious. Guess what? Hopefully everyone around you is doing the same thing, but
right.
you don't need to announce that presence because now whenever you go to signal or indicate, you're basically not allowing that to happen.
Right.
But just one of those tips. I see it so much when the weather gets bad, and that's the one pet peeve. I'm like, stop doing that.
Right. Just drive cautiously and let that be.
Now, of course, I know you guys will be out and about on over the New Year's Eve, New Year's holiday here. Now, you guys will be doing checkpoints and doing what traditionally does happen during the holidays.
Yes.
Please, folks, there's so many different options to get you home and not doing it behind the wheel of a vehicle if you've been drinking. Take advantage of that. I get it 40 years ago where people weren't harping on drinking and driving, and so people were driving drunk all the time. But there's organizations that offer free rides on nights like this. Hopefully you have friends and family and maybe make a plan and keep one sober to get everybody home, whatever that is. Make that plan, do something. And if that doesn't work, call a cab, call an Uber, call somebody to come get you. But it's too easy to do that rather than you try to drive home and thinking you're saving some time or energy for someone, and you might end up destroying yourself or someone else's life.
Right. Yeah. And we want people to enjoy family, but be careful. We'll be out in force.
Absolutely. And of course, the deputies, there's newer ones, but they're all not new. When they see cars, see the checkpoint and hang a Yui to go the other way, red flag, folks.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yep.
You're not fooling anybody when you do that. I'm just trying to warn you. If you see it, go take your lumps, drive through it. If your registration's not, they'll give you a citation and move along out of your day. And certainly if you're drunk, just stop and let. But if you're riding dirty, just.
You attract all the attention when you turn around.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying. So they know you're doing that stuff, and guess what? They anticipate that. They probably have some guys sitting over there, get the tune around, the U-turn folks, and they're going to come for a visit.
Exactly.
They weren't born at night, but not last night. So, but they know what's going on. So, but the best bet is just don't do it. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. That's almost bigger than drinking and driving at this point, because that's not a holiday driven thing. That's every single day. I don't know how many times I'm going up and down Main Street and I see someone being stupid, and then you go around them and their head's buried in a phone.
Yep.
It happens daily around here. And I get it, because everybody, my wife, myself, everybody, included, I get on to her about it. And she does it to me when I tend to do that. Oh, I'm just going to say yes real quick. No. Don't do that. This is every single instant of tragedy started with, I'm just going to say yes real quick, or I'm just going to do this real quick.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, and I'm a guy in my 50s now. I'm a little older, so I'm a little technology illiterate on some things. And new cars are equally as distracting to me as a phone sometimes.
Some of them have TV screens and radio screens.
Well, and I got my Jeep and I love it. It's an amazing, but there's like the climate control thing, and then I'm like, there's like 60 different ways to access audio, and I'm trying to drive down the hallway, so I'm just trying to bring up my phone thing to listen, and then I'm like, wait a minute. So I got to be honest, as many quote unquote features to make it easier for you, they get just as distracting sometimes.
Oh, they really do.
So please limit even that kind of stuff. If you're doing the road trip, this is why you have the passenger seat. They're the navigator / radio DJ, whatever the rules are in your car. Maybe the driver picks the music, but let the passenger pick the buttons,
right,
and do all that kind of stuff. It's just too easy to get distracted by that stuff nowadays.
Absolutely. It only takes a split second for something to happen.
Back in the day when you just had like that one thing with the turning knob and then 6 buttons you could mash to get somewhere near one of your favorites.
Right.
That's all we needed back then.
Yeah.
And the other one, I go back, and I've already yelled at this the old man yells at cloud moment for cars, but did you ever like deal with cars that had the high beams on the floor?
Yep.
Why did we stop doing that? I gotta imagine that's
I don't know.
Most convenient. especially nowadays where everyone's driving automatics. You're not doing anything with that foot anyway. Stick a high beam on there.
Right.
Just saying.
Well, and some of these cars, they automatically do the high beams and don't.
No, I don't want all that.
Yeah.
I want some control in my life.
Right.
I don't want. I mean, it's bad enough the cars now drive themselves and lane assist and I don't know. My wife's car. We were coming back from Albuquerque and it was windy. So any little time that the wind blew us a little bit, you should take a break. You should take a break. You should shut up. But that thing's telling you. I mean, I like convenience, but it's getting too much.
Well, and those automatic high beams, sometimes they don't recognize the car coming at you.
Right.
So you're blind in the person
Yeah,
coming
now
at
you're
you.
getting a thing, and it's like, am I going to get a fight with somebody? Because it's not me, it's the car.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But anyway, that my whole point of getting the joke is don't do this stuff. Certainly don't drink and drive and do that kind of stuff. I'm very curious. Now that we're talking, I'm jumping back and forth on you, but one of the big problems during Christmas is property crimes. People breaking into cars. How was that this year? Was it a little lower, a little higher? Is it about the same?
I think it was a little lowered.
Okay.
Just because we didn't have the weather. People going out and starting their cars.
Yeah, you know what? That's true too. I didn't think about that.
With the cold weather, be cognizant of people can drive around and see the steam coming off your muffler. So make sure.
I think when the sheriff was here last time, he said they call them smokers.
Yeah.
That was the term the term used. And it's and again, this is where technology can be your friend, because if you buy one of these cars that tells you need to take a nap and everything else, generally speaking, they have like a remote start, keep the doors locked. You push the button, and then when you're ready to get in the car, the key recognizes it and do everything else. But if you don't have that technology, then don't do that. Lock the doors after you start. The beauty of that is if you got a real old car, you can leave the key in the ignition and run the car, and then use your round key to lock the door.
Exactly. Yep.
See, but if you're in that creamy one key everything, you might be a little in trouble on this one. But if you're old school with the two keys,
and if you're even more lucky, it's manual, so most people don't know how to drive.
That's true. Yeah, if it's a stick shift, then that's kind of a built-in security. Yeah. Next to the club. People laugh at the club, but I bet it's stopped more just for the mirror. Oh, I'm even gonna mess. They look at it and see it. It's like, are you kidding me? Nah, I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's basically what we always talk about during Christmas. A lot of these crimes are crimes of convenience. If you're sitting there in your car and all your presents and valuables are sitting there in plain sight, someone's just going to break a window and take it and be gone. That's why they always tell you, at least bury it in the trunk, or if you got an SUV, right, and look in, put blankets, put a bunch, make it Sanford and Son back there, put a bunch of funky Coke bottles or something. I don't care, but don't make it same. Like at this point in our world, I wouldn't even leave change in the cup drawer anymore. That's enough to get someone to say, hey, there could be $5 in there or whatever it is. I wouldn't even mess with that anymore. Just leave that stuff out. That's why we, especially when you're going to shopping centers, malls, places where there's a lot of cars. 9 times out of 10, those guys just walking up down rows, jiggling doorknobs, seeing if it's and they, every once in a while they hit a pay dirt, and they'll just ransack through there, even if they don't get anything. Now you got the inconvenience of someone just ransacked my car and everything else.
Exactly.
So that's why they tell you to do all this.
Yep.
So it's just the same thing with your property too. Really, I mean, if you leave things sitting out in plain sight that maybe looks tempting, then people are going to probably do something about that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I imagine you see that a lot out in the county, especially like tractors or farm, things like that. That, I mean, obviously not the ones you got to get a hook a semi truck to get this thing out of here, but but I mean, I would take a stab if you're leaving your tractor out there and it's a key turn star or I'm sure it's a matter of time for some tweaker's going to go out there and steal it.
Yep. Trailers are a big thing.
Oh yeah, I know. That's even like Albuquerque. I know that that was I know last year about this time they were having a big rash of people staying at hotels and whatnot. And if you had like one of those little cargo trailers, they were stealing those and shop them out in the desert and everything else. Like it was a whole racket on that stuff. And I'm sure it's still going on.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah,
there.
but do you guys deal with some of that kind of stuff on this stuff? I mean, we don't deal with the car thefts and stuff as much as they do, but certainly the other crimes we do, right? I mean,
it's not obviously as much, but we do deal with those crimes. Theft of fuel. the farmers have fuel out there. People
a commodity that
fuel.
can be reused a lot is
Yes.
stuff that people want to take. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I can't afford gas, but I can suck some out of some
And
guy's
another
tractor.
thing that we have a lot around here is pecans.
Yeah,
that's people's livelihoods.
Absolutely.
And
people think it's on a tree and out there it's free, and it's like, no, it's on my property.
Yes.
I agree, you know, okay, if it's a wild pecan tree, then knock yourself out. But if it's on someone's private property,
right? Yeah, it's in the middle of a pecan orchard. It's probably not.
Yeah, when there's like 30 more followed by them sitting there in a nice, neat row, someone owns that.
Right? Yeah. Yep.
But even if it's some guy's backyard and there's one tree back there, if it's on someone's yard, it's their nut tree. It's they can do it. If they want to let them fall and sit on the ground, God bless them. That's their. And if you want them, then maybe be neighborly. Say, hey, I noticed you just let all your nuts fall on the ground. Can I have them?
Exactly. Yep.
I know guys are giggling. They're full head off right now. I am too on the inside, but I'm supposed to be professional.
Yep.
But it's just common sense. Do a little bit of thinking on that. But again, just be mindful over the next couple of days here. Don't drink and drive. Don't do all that. As far as other stuff in the sheriff's department, I know you guys are always looking for new folks to be a part of the sheriff's department. I believe you guys have a group going off to the academy here in the first part of the year, don't you? The next batch going.
We have one going off.
Oh, one person. So I say batch of one.
Yes.
But the next class will be starting up here at the first
Yeah.
time of the year. Probably a little late to get into this one.
Yeah, it is.
But now's the great time to start the process to get you into. It was around June or so is the next class.
Yeah.
To get into that next class, and this is the great part about you don't fill out an application and say, all right, good job, and then they send you to the academy and good luck to you. Obviously, there's going to be background checks, both criminal, mental health, the whole nine, making sure you are of sound mind and body to become a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
The body part, they'll work with you on.
Yes.
If you can't quite do the push-ups and pull-ups, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
They're going to make sure that you're in shape to graduate from the academy. And plus, they use this time to really, because they get it. The knowledge base of you of a law enforcement is going to be minimal. Maybe you have a family of law enforcement, so you know more than the average person.
Right.
But by and large, you're going to be very naive to what the day-to-day life of a police officer is. And so they're going to use that couple months before you go to the academy to get you all that, to learn you the lingo, to learn the basics of. So when you get to the academy, you can seamlessly go to the training and understand, because law enforcement's like military. They got acronyms for acronyms, and you got to know the lingo and the culture, and that's kind of where you learn it, is that first couple months, and and plus you get to meet the rest of the build the camaraderie side of the sheriff's department. As much as every individual deputy has a duty and they're out there every day, they're a team. They're on each other. They watch each other's backs 24/7, even when they're not in uniform, and that. It's a family environment. And how does that nurtured? It starts at the beginning, hanging out and learning and, going through some hardships together, but also going through some good times together.
Right.
And doing
And there is a lengthy process for the hiring. Once you get hired, then we'll start the application for the academy.
Sure.
But once you get done with the hiring and you're hired, you're doing training, you're riding with deputies. Like the guy that we have now, he's riding with deputies. He was on night shift. He's done courts, stuff like that.
Sure.
So it's definitely not a boring time.
Absolutely. But you really see the sexy and unsexy, the mundane and the unmundane side of the sheriff's department. I hate to burst everybody's bubble, but for every time there's a traffic stop or anything else that happens, there's usually a mountain of paperwork that goes with that they got to file reports and do it. Even if it is laundry type tasks, it's still a lot of it. So every time an officer makes a stop, every time they question you about, they got to annotate that. They got to have a record of that.
Yeah.
And so they don't show you that part on the cop shows on TV.
Right. Yeah.
They just show the guy sliding over the hood and busting the dude or breaking into the bank, and they do all that stuff. They'll show you the part where they're sitting at a desk behind a laptop, filing out reports and everything else for the next 6 hours.
Yeah, they're like, you get to do all this. Oh wait, but there's 90% of the paperwork that goes with it.
Absolutely, and that's where you learn. But then you also learn all facets of law enforcement. So you come in now, it's like, hey, I love the canine stuff. Once I graduate, I want to steer my interest to canine, or I want to be the SWAT guys, or I want to do. I mean, all deputies are deputies first and foremost. They ride the beat, they serve and protect, but they're specialized. You got your canine guys. Anytime they need to search for someone or they need to search for drugs, and guess what? We got to call them out. Obviously, anytime there's a heightened situation where there's risk of life, the SWAT guys are there to serve and protect, and they'll. I'm going to take a guess when those situations happen. If they're on duty, they've got pretty much all their gear in the trunk,
right.
And they drop what they're doing and head to wherever the scene is and SWAT up, so to speak, suit up,
Yes,
and do what they got to do. But that's a whole nother. Guess what? You just don't learn how to be a SWAT guy overnight. So there's a lot of additional training and stuff that goes on there.
Right.
And then once you're done all that, then it's like, okay, go back to your day-to-day deputy jobs until the stuff hits the fan, basically. And wait around for that.
Exactly. And we have our DWI guy who just recently graduated from drug recognition expert school.
Okay.
So that was been a while.
So don't invite him to parties. He's going to nail your drugs every time. Just kidding.
Right?
He's like, that's meth over there, I can tell.
Yep.
Some fentanyl.
Yes.
Kidding. But,
which has been a long time since the sheriff's office has one of those.
Absolutely.
So it's a good thing.
Well, I imagine, because having that person here, obviously it leads to more arrests and things, but I think it also leads to more convictions and things because, these are the folks that, a lot of drugs can be a lot of things, and when you have people that know exactly what they're dealing with and the risk factors, the safety, fentanyl, everyone knows, fentanyl is a time bomb. Officers, people die just by touching it.
Right.
For a little bit. This is scary stuff.
Yes.
But having those folks to train our guys, to really show those and at the same token, be able to use them in the term to prosecute and to help get these folks off the street. It's just,
right.
It's that's a very valuable tool. And I imagine it's because let's face it, we don't live in New York City. We don't live in Dallas. We live in Chavez County, New Mexico, where there's more dirt than there's buildings. And, so to have that level of qualifications in a place this rural is very, very, very fortunate for us.
Yes.
So, but like you said, we're always looking for more folks there. And,
Absolutely.
And if your goal is to serve and protect as a deputy, but you do want to, I know I want to be a detective. I want to be the person that investigates cases and all right, we can get you to pursue that path there. Or, if you're saying, no, I want to be sheriff someday. All right, well, you got to learn the job first and overall the job. Then we can talk about being sheriff.
Absolutely. And if you're unsure if that's something you want to do, we're always doing ride-alongs. You can always contact the sheriff's office, come in.
Get your feet wet.
And
sign up.
Just see how it fares for you.
As a guy, I got an opportunity to do a ride along a couple years ago, and it was an eye-opening experience. I'm one of those guys. I watch the live PDs and cops, and so I consider myself an armchair warrior on these kind of things. I know a thing or two.
Yes,
but my eyes were open on that one because there was just, and I've told this story a couple times, but it still blows me away to this day. I'm sitting there with the deputy in the vehicle, and we're down in the south end of town, going through some of the alleys back there, and there was I'm going to assume a homeless man that was kind of just sitting up against a fence there, and the officer said, "Well, let's do a wellness check, make sure he's okay, not need medical attention or nothing." But as we're coming up on him, I didn't see nothing. I'm just sitting there in the darkness, and the deputy's just kind of like, "All right, there's two guys back here, one over here. Watch this one. You stay in the car, but be note, there's two guys here." And I'm like, where did they come from? He just had eyes in the back of his head, and I'm pretty sure every deputy gets that training and has that. But that amazed me to see that. I feel like I said, I'm a people watcher. I like doing. I thought I was observant. I'm not nowhere near observant compared to what law enforcement officers are. That was a lesson I learned that day. I was like, wow. I feel like I'm not. I just felt like I'm usually a guy that's pretty, and I missed the 10 things that he pointed out to me.
Yeah, we're trained to be observant on everything.
And that's also when because I had an opportunity. The Chavez County Sheriff's Office serves way more than the county. We live in a rural area. We were just talking about that, and there was an accident, a single car accident in Roswell County, halfway to Vaughn, and guess who gets to respond to that? Chavez County Sheriff also Roswell Fire and Rescue.
Yes.
Those guys. Now, it turned out this guy was ended up being a drunk driver, and he fortunately hurt nobody or himself except that car. It didn't look good, but
Right.
he just basically went off the road and hit one of those moguls and hill areas you hit from time to time out there, and Dukes of
Right.
Hazzard ended off into the thing. But anyway, that was 45 miles outside of town, and that was one part. I got to be in a cop car that got well over 100 miles. That was cool. I ain't gonna lie. I get why cops want to do. I was like, this is bad. I mean, I was just in the passenger seat. We're doing like 120, booking it down the. I was like, all right, because you don't get to do that very often in Roswell, folks. Just saying. But they got to do it heading out that way. But again, that was another thing. I was like, yeah, these guys serve way more than Chaves County, and it happens more often than you think.
Yeah, and we work good with the surrounding counties.
And vice versa. If their guys are closer than you guys are in Chaves, they're going to respond to those too. It's a, like you said, a mutual relationship and all that stuff. But in all fairness, Roosevelt County's probably got like 3 guys on patrol, where you guys have a few. You know what I mean? I think you think we're rural, they're rural. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's where a lot of the time is. It's just there's no need because there's 3 guys on patrol at a given time at that.
Right.
Where Roswell's, we don't have that luxury of only allowing to have Barney Fife and Andy Griffith to do the thing. We need a few more able-bodied folks.
Right.
But if you're interested, please now come here. First year, if I want to better my life, and I've been always interested in a career in law. Come, go online. You can start the application process. But like Lieutenant Drake's saying, just go down to the sheriff's office here. Come down today and say, hey, I've heard I'm interested. I'd like to sign up for a ride along. What do I got to do? And they'll tell you all the stuff. Sign a waiver, pick your day, and they'll let you. Highly recommend. You want to hit the night beat. That's where the action is. If you want to see, where a busier. I'm not saying stuff don't happen during the day, but
right.
Your odds are better when the sun goes down. The activity picks up.
Yes,
it's just the nature of the beast.
Yep,
here.
and all you do is come down, fill out that one sheet of paper, and we do a quick background check, make sure you're not wanted or anything, and
it's a lot of fun too. I mean, as a guy that you guys, it's. I'm called fun. It's your day to day. But for someone who doesn't get to do it every day, it was really cool to experience that. And one thing I also learned from that is we have an amazing community of businesses and things because those guys they go on their lunch break, they didn't pay for dinner. They go into Domino's Pizza and they were like, your money's not good here, and they just give them free pizza.
Yeah, and it goes to
so amazing that they do
the checkpoints and stuff. We have people donate and companies donate the drinks and food for the checkpoints.
But it just made me happy to see that, especially because I knew there was just a given Friday night or whatever it was, and these handful of deputies come in and literally they're like, do you want anything? I was like, no, I'll pay for mine. I'm not you guys. I'll pay for my sandwich. But they're like, no, and they're so thank you to those businesses that support our law enforcement and do that for our sheriffs, our RPD, state, all our guys in blue here. We do appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool to get to do that. I know we're running short on time. Is there anything you guys want to cover that I sidebarred and sidetracked us on or anything?
No, just enjoy family and be safe out there. That's the main thing is we want you guys to get home to your families.
I'd like to quote my sorry, Kim, I didn't mean to do this to you. Just apropos moment. I'd like to quote my sister-in-law who just passed. Make good choices.
Yes.
she told my niece that every time she goes out, make good choices.
Yep.
And that's the best I can tell you on this one is when you go out and celebrate, have fun, but make good choices.
Exactly.
You make good choices, you're going to live to see day one of 2020.
Make good choices. You don't have to meet us in that aspect.
Not that way, Instead, you can meet them at the fair or at
exactly
McDonald's or something where you come in. And by the way, I'm also going to give this note to folks: if you see firefighters, cops, or EMS guys, all a bunch of cars out in front of that restaurant, you stop and eat. I don't care what it is or where it is, but if you see a bunch of cops, Firefighters or law enforcement, the food's good in that building. Right. They know.
Yeah.
And so that's, like if I was a restaurant, I'd buy a fire truck and just park it out there. You know what I'm saying? Just and put out, just people think there's always law enforcement. That food must be good.
Yeah, we don't miss many meals.
But I'd also buy radio advertising restaurants. So we don't need to buy radio. Just buy a fire truck.
Yes. Yep.
Good deal. But is there anything did we get it all?
I think we got it all.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us here, and tell all of our deputies thank you for doing what you guys do, and wish you guys a blessed 2026, and stay safe out there.
Same to you.
And hopefully our folks will try to do the same here, so we can all kumbaya.
All right.
Good deal. But thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. It is 8:54. Let's pause for news, and I think I can get weather in here and a couple of things before, more news. So don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump suggests that if Iran thinks it can reconstitute its nuclear program, it has another thing coming. He says Iran will be hit again if it tries to rebuild its nuclear infrastructure. The president spoke at yesterday's meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. The two leaders talked about implementation of Phase 2 of the Gaza ceasefire. Among other things, it calls on Hamas to disarm. The president says Hamas had better honor its commitment to lay down its arms. The president confirms a U.S. military strike on a docking facility in Venezuela, where, according to Mr. Trump, illicit drugs were loaded onto boats headed for the U.S. and elsewhere. A powerful winter storm that's been pounding the plains, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, continues its eastward march, spreading snow and ice, fierce winds and bitter cold as it goes. The Dow futures are up 4 points. More details at srnnews.com.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Basketball tournaments galore yesterday in Roswell. The Pokhorn Boys Basketball Tournament and the Goddard Holiday Tournament for the girls' side. Let's start with the Pokhorn, where both of the host teams won. Goddard 68-57 over Alamogordo. That was a good game. Goddard's now 5-2. Alamogordo falls to 6-3. So Goddard plays host to Organ Mountain tonight. Roswell, meanwhile, disposed of Deming, no problem, 78-40. The Coyotes take on Paladuro from Amarillo this evening at 7:30. At the Girls Holiday Classic, hosted by Goddard, it was Goddard beating Belen by a score of 58-23. The Rockets take on Hope Christian today at 2:30. Roswell beating Deming 39-24. The Coyotes take on Lovington today at 2:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of cloud cover early today, but we get more sunshine toward afternoon, and we're headed for the mid-40s to low 50s. Overnight, a few clouds, mid-20s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, mid-50s on the afternoon high. A few clouds on Wednesday night, and then a mix of sun and clouds New Year's Day. We will have a little bit of sunshine, though, our high in the upper 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning. Stocks open today for the final 2 trading days of this year after stock averages slip, with the major stock averages all still up by double digits this year in a good year for stocks, despite tariffs and AI and inflation and low consumer confidence and rising unemployment. Many are forecasting a stronger economy and strong stock market again next year, but say if we get that, it could increase inflation, and lower mortgage rates also depend on inflation coming down more, and the real estate market is one of the largest forces in the economy. President Trump says he expects the Federal Reserve Chairman he'll appoint to fully support his agenda. Reports say more student loan borrowers are declaring bankruptcy by showing a judge that their financial lives are hopeless and to avoid some of their current income from being seized to pay for student loans. The Wall Street Journal reports many large companies say they don't plan to increase hiring next year. Senator Bernie Sanders is the latest in Washington to call for slowing down AI with a moratorium on new data centers because of AI's effect on kids and on jobs. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. The Trump administration is not backing down one bit in its war on those it identifies as narco-terrorists.
The Southern Command says it's conducted a strike on a boat in the eastern Pacific Ocean. The military says the vessel was engaged in narco-trafficking operations, though it did not provide evidence to back up the claim. It says 2 people were killed, and that brings the reported death toll to at least 107 in 30 known boat strikes by U.S. forces in the waters off South America. And President Trump told reporters Monday
there was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs.
And saying the U.S. wants responsible. I'm Ben Thomas.
Parts of Wisconsin are under 2 feet of snow, the result of a big winter storm. It pummeled the plains, the upper Midwest, and the Great Lakes before moving into parts of the Northeast. Travel on the roads and in the air was snarled, and there are hundreds of thousands of power outages. A National Guard deployment in New Orleans, authorized by President Trump, gets underway today, part of a heavy security presence for New Year's celebrations. Comes a year after an attack on Bourbon Street left 14 people dead. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell says the extra security is appreciated.
The National Guard, as you know, are expected to be in our city and in partnership with the city through Mardi Gras. Okay, so that is something that we do know, and we absolutely are welcoming of those added resources.
Some 350 Guard members will be hitting the streets of New Orleans through mid-February. A new Russian nuclear-capable missile system has been deployed to active service in Belarus, that according to the Russian Defense Ministry. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 89 points, while the NASDAQ trading 2 points lower, and the S&P is off 3. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Former Bangladesh Prime Minister Khalida Zia has died at the age of 80. Her rivalry with Sheikh Hasina defined Bangladeshi politics for a generation.
Like Hasina, Zia's premiership had been marred by allegations of corruption. She was jailed for 5 years when opposition leader in 2018. At 72, she had called the allegations politically motivated, telling her supporters, "I will be back. Do not worry and be strong." Her son, Tariq Rahman, had also been sentenced in absentia, but they were both acquitted of corruption charges earlier this year. Her son returned to Bangladesh for the first time in 17 years, just days before his mother's death. He will lead her party in the first elections since Hasina fled the country.
The BBC's Atade Mashiri. China's top diplomat, Foreign Minister Wang Yi, is slamming a record U.S. military sale to Taiwan. News and analysis, townhall.com. Federal air safety investigators are working to pinpoint the cause of the weekend mid-air collision of two helicopters over southern New Jersey.
Police in New Jersey, where two helicopters crashed Sunday, confirmed that the second pilot has also died. 65-year-old Kenneth Kirsch had survived what the FAA is investigating as a mid-air collision and was medevac to the hospital but did not make it. The other pilot, 71-year-old Michael Greenberg, died at the scene. The pair were friends and were eating breakfast that morning at Sal's Filipinos Cafe at Hamilton Airport.
I saw one go down, and then I saw the other one go down, and it was a little bit of disbelief.
The pilots were the only two aboard. I'm Julie Walker.
Australian police say an investigation that extended to the Philippines, investigation of two men accused of killing 15 people at a Sydney Jewish festival, has uncovered no evidence that they were part of a broader terrorist cell. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Eve of the New Year's Eve. Happy Tuesday.
Christmas or New Year's Eve. Christmas is so far gone at this point.
No, it is. It's Christmas Eve. No,
it was really funny though to walk in to a post-Christmas. I should have gone down and got it on last hour, but to walk into a post-Christmas Buc-ee's and see a line of like almost life-size Buc-ee's nutcrackers on clearance.
Oh, on clearance.
On clearance.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, because, you don't want to put your nutcracker out on the 26th. That would just, your Buc-ee's nutcracker, that would just be weird.
I feel like a Buc-ee's nutcracker is a year-round ornament. Much like our sales manager's Christmas tree that he leaves in his house all year, but he just puts a Dallas Maverick Santa hat on the top and makes it a basketball Christmas
That is the gift that keeps on giving the whole year round. That it is, Edward. That it is. I love that movie. It's so quotable. And I know it's one of those you really can't watch any other time of the year, but I still sneak it in like July.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
But you know what? I don't feel right. Like, I'm not a big eggnog guy, but if I want eggnog, by golly, I wanted a moose cup.
I wanted a moose cup. I agree. I agree.
With the moose ears.
Aggressively dipped, no less.
Moose antlers is your handle. That's exactly what I want.
Can refill your eggnog, drive you out into the woods, leave you for dead.
Yep. Yep. So there was something, and I didn't pay that close of attention to it over the Christmas holiday. So I don't think it's real, but based on the players involved, I don't know. And it was a couple of videos of the reason I'm mentioning is because it was Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid, the real man, the crazy guy that lives. I know, is he in Canada now, or wherever
he's
on Milam in Canada or whatever it is. Yeah, where that is. So, but he was showing these videos, and with him was none other than Roseanne Barr.
I believe that's real, sir. I do believe that is real.
And they were like kind of fawning over each other, and they were hanging out in front of this weird...
Now that you mention Roseanne, I do remember seeing clips of this.
I'm not going to lie. The background looked a weirdly AI. Like, it was like this trailer parky look, but oddly kind of...
That's just Canada.
Quaint. I don't know. I didn't stop because I was afraid the algorithm would just hit me with more of this that I didn't want. But I was mildly curious what was going on there, but I was too scared to actually click on it.
Yeah, no, it's legit. Randy Quaid and Roseanne were hanging out. Hang on, I'm trying to find the story. During Home on the Range premiere on the red carpet.
What the heck is Home on the Range?
I don't know. It was maybe Randy Quaid and Roseanne Barr. I guess it's a movie that
featuring these two?
It featured Randy Quaid and Roseanne Barr.
Well, where can I get tickets for that? Any movie starring Roseanne Barr Arnold, wherever she goes by now, or just Roseanne, I don't even know. And Randy Quaid?
And then here's another.
That's going to be a whole lot of something going on.
Yeah, they've I guess are friends or something.
Well, they're both kind of nutty, and they're both been ostracized. So, yes, I imagine they share common people that they hate or whatever. But, well, and the weird part is they're both uber nutty, but both say some things sometimes you're like, well, they're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's something else.
I'm not saying all the things, but some of the things.
That just kind of reminded me of something. We were given I believe this came before Christmas, but I'm going to go ahead and call it a late Christmas present from one Gerald Busey.
Oh, I think I saw that. Where he's with his big horse teeth, and he's like, it's like, I don't remember exactly what he said.
I'm trying to find the clip right now. Give me 1 second.
But it was very much in the vein of a Busey-ism.
Here it is. Okay. I don't have the video, but I definitely have the audio. So with that in mind.
The family friendly? I don't even remember.
Hey, it's Gary Busey, and I have got a great Christmas present for you. Listen to this. Oh, that's what a goose sounds like. When they're flying, they're letting you know they're up there. Honk! Honk! You get a bunch of geese together. Honk, honk, honk. They're honking in the air.
So Merry Christmas from Gary Busey.
God bless us one and all.
And of course, that has to trigger one of the greatest clips of all time, which this actually, for some reason, this came up over the Christmas break a couple of times in my family excursions.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
That's not your jam. It's not your thing. You don't like it?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Yeah. Wear a helmet, kids.
Oh, yeah. Please wear a helmet if you're a motorcycle rider. Please. I know they're not the coolest look, but there's some really cool looking helmets out there these days.
Don't be Gary Busey in your later life. Oh. Or the other guy that was famously Jan Michael Vincent. He's a little lesser known, but
not if you're a Rick and Morty fan.
Or was he on Blue Thunder or was it Airwolf? He was Airwolf.
It was Airwolf.
Yeah, it was Airwolf. I get those two confused sometimes.
Which who wouldn't? But yeah, no, Gary. The stories. I would say that the best gift that Gary Busey has ever left us are the stories of his existence.
Yeah,
like the man snorted drugs out of the hair of a dog.
Yeah,
he spilled his cocaine onto his dog and then chased the dog and snorted it out. That's commitment to the bit, if nothing else.
Addiction will make you do things.
It makes you do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. But the moral of the story is wear a helmet.
Yeah.
And don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Because you'll end up like Gary Busey.
That should have been the entirety of the DARE program. Just go around and show kids pictures of Gary Busey.
I got to be honest, that scared me way more than Nancy Reagan. Just saying, you throw Gary Busey, this is what happens to drug kids, and you throw Gary Busey in there?
Somebody pointed it out the other day.
I'm scared straight.
All the DARE program did to me was make me think that drug dealers are out there offering free drugs.
I kept looking for a big dog in a trench coat.
I was looking for my first time discount.
I hung out at every street corner. Only thing showed up was Ice Cream Man. But that would have been definitely way more effective than the frying pan thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was cute and witty, just made me want to eat eggs. But you throw Gary Busey, this is This is
your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Buttered sausage. What's it made of? What's it doing? Why is it doing what it's doing?
That's what a goose sounds like. You know what?
Any questions?
I'm turning into one of those sober guys with the tattoo thing, whatever those guys call.
I'm sorry. You just scared me straight, sir.
Yeah. Say this working. All right, I better get the interview going.
Yes,
because it's a little over 30 minutes, and I got a few more drug jokes though, if you want.
We're chock full of them.
But we'll get that. Earlier in the month, we had Matt Bristol with Bristol Law join us. And he, as always, talks good legal advice. This year, usually at the end of the year, we have the conversation about, hey, the family plan. What happens in the event of, this is that time of year you should have that conversation. So that was kind of the theme for this month's conversation. So I'll play that for you here in just a bit if I can spit out my words. Use your words. I'm trying. But it is 9:15. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of cloud cover early today, but we get more sunshine toward afternoon, and we're headed for the mid-40s to low 50s. Overnight, a few clouds, mid-20s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, mid-50s on the afternoon high. A few clouds on Wednesday night, and then a mix of sun and clouds New Year's Day. We will have a little bit of sunshine, though, our high in the upper 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 24 degrees here in Roswell. Freezing fog still out there, but that shouldn't be around much longer, maybe another hour or so. Humidity is at 96%. Winds are calm. The freezing fog warning, that's what I was trying to say, that will remain in effect through 11 p.m. today. Sorry. It came out freezing flag warning. I don't know why. But they are talking areas of fog here till about 10 a.m. Sunny and 51 for a high today with south winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, looking at an overnight low of 23. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your New Year's Eve proper, mostly sunny. We're going to be in the 60s, 61 for a high with winds out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. For New Year's Eve evening, we are looking at partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 33. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. New Year's Day, sunny and 71. Winds out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, more of the same, sunny and 71. Saturday, sunny and 71 as well. And sunny and 72 on Sunday, just to be a little different. So today, a little warmer than yesterday. Tomorrow will be a little warmer today, and then we hit the 70s. So that's kind of what we're dealing with for the next week or so. All right, 9:17. We're going to take a quick break. Then our interview with Matt Bristol from Bristol Law Office on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Artesia General Hospital presents seasonal wellness reminders for you and your family. This time of year brings cozy sweaters, warm meals, and a few health challenges. Start by preventing colds and flu. Get vaccinated, wash hands regularly, and avoid touching your face when you're out in public. Find balance in holiday eating. Fill your plate with vegetables and lean proteins before reaching for the sweets. And fight dry winter skin by moisturizing often, staying hydrated, and running a humidifier if your home feels dry. Small choices add up to a healthier, happier season. These healthy living reminders are brought to you by Artesia General Hospital, ready to help take care of you and your family.
Hi, can I help you?
I'm here to make hot your home.
You're not Fergie's.
I have right tools for a job.
Well, you may have the proper tools, but do you know how to use them?
I learn on Croatian YouTube.
Oh no, baby. Just because they have the equipment don't mean they can get the job done. Let Fergie's work their mojo on your heating and AC unit. 622-2660.
Fergalicious.
Wait,
stop the countdown. This is your last chance to get massive savings during the year-end sales event at Roswell Ford. We need to sell 55 vehicles this week, so we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Plus, Roswell Ford needs your trade today, so we are willing to overpay, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you can upgrade to a new Ford with 0% financing for 60 months, 0 down payment, and 0 payments till March 2026. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders who will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. All roads lead to huge American-made savings. 0 down, 0 APR, and 0 payments till March 2026. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com.
Interest accrues from date of sale. 0 APR is $16.67 per thousand financed on 2025 F-150s, subject to lender approval. Offers not combined on select vehicles.
Rio Pecos Medical Associates proudly welcomes Dr. David Fucinari, OBGYN. With advanced training in minimally invasive techniques, Dr. Fucinari is the first in our community to offer robotic surgery for women experiencing heavy or painful periods, pelvic pain, uterine fibroids, and more. Dr. Trevor Miller, Family Practice and Obstetrics, provides prenatal and OB care along with comprehensive primary care for the whole family, including wellness exams, acute visits, chronic disease management, skin procedures, and joint injections. Rio Pecos has expanded care once again by adding pediatrics. We welcome Kim Hansen and Rihanna Shaw, both experienced pediatric nurse practitioners who share a commitment to compassionate, patient-centered care and who have earned the trust of our community over the years. Book your appointment for OBGYN, family practice, or pediatric care online at riopecosmed.com or call 575-622-6322. Rio Pecos Medical Associates, advancing health and wellness for every generation.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
Yes, in the studio this morning from Bristol Law Office. Matt Bristol back with us. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Mike. How you doing?
Doing well. How's life in your world this morning?
Oh, good. We you were talking about the Midday Lions doing their Christmas carriage ride.
Yeah.
And so, yesterday, Troop 7 helped put out some of the lights around the 2603 North Aspen.
Okay. Getting them ready for next weekend, or this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
Good
Getting
deal.
ready, yeah.
I know, because I think the Lions sponsor one or two troops here in town, I believe.
Troop 72.
And so I think you'll see them out this weekend and next, kind of help navigating and getting people to and fro and all that good stuff.
There may be some scouts out there helping. Yeah, I'm not sure, but
by the way, they all meet at the scout headquarters there on Aspen when you go for your carriage ride. So if you know where the scout hut is, that's where you go.
Right, just down the church, down the street from the LDS church.
Yes, exactly. They're on off Country Club.
Off Country Club, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Troop 7 had their planning weekend this weekend at Dowling down in Carlsbad.
Oh, very nice.
Planned out the year for advancement and camping and stuff.
Good deal. Excellent. So they got a lot on tap for next year, I'm imagining here. So
yeah, the ladies were excited and talked about getting all their merit badges and stuff, the young girls. So it was exciting.
Do they go? They'd go on a camping trip to do this, or was that like when they go down to Carlsbad for that and camp, and then kind of plan their next year?
Yeah,
while camping.
Yes, Friday and Saturday, and nice facilities. And
good deal.
Went on the boat ride for the Christmas lights.
Oh, okay, Christmas on the Pecos. So
yeah,
that's really neat. Everyone should do that once if you never get a chance to do that.
Yes,
it's pretty well worth the trip down.
Yeah, as is the midday lines.
Oh yeah, going out and seeing the Christmas lights and everything in the carriage rides, and I'm not gonna lie, if the weather's too warm, it's not as cool. You need it to be a little cold. You want the fire barrels, you want the cocoa. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's just not the same if you're in a t-shirt. Looking at so I hope for a little. I mean, I don't want it freezing. We don't need -10 or nothing, but enough for you need a coat and you can see your breath. That'd be good.
Yeah, it's a fun little sleigh ride.
But absolutely.
And how was your weekend?
Good. Matter of fact, I'll talk more about next weekend. But we adopted a cat. We'll get we'll
awesome.
Yeah, we haven't officially adopted her. We'll do that tomorrow. But we it's pretty much a done deal. We just got to fill out the paperwork and go send her to the vet and all that good stuff.
Your first cat?
No. We have one cat now. We had two cats. We just lost one of our cats here about a month ago, and so technically for me, this is my third cat. My wife's had cats. So growing up, my my father and my brother are allergic to cats, so I never grew up with cats or nothing. And so until I got married, I had cats, and I was always a dog person. Now I like them both. But yeah, so we got a second cat that will be. We're
have a name picked out?
We do. Reba.
Is it a tabby or?
It's called an American tabby, and it's got orange hair. It's kind of an orange color, and so it's
cool.
That's hence the Reba. Kind of a reddish orange color there.
There you go.
Yeah,
very classy.
But so we'll get her next week or later this week.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. So, of course, for folks that are not familiar, Matt joins us each month, and as a lawyer, he deals with a lot of, this is what pays his bills, so he doesn't want to solve all of your problems right here. But he always each month gives families and business owners just good, safe practicing things to maintain from a legal perspective your business or your family. We always talk a lot about financial planning with your families, retirements, deaths, what happens when people die and where money goes. We also talk about businesses and how to set up the business and which the right business. And just because one person opens a business as an LLC doesn't mean that's what's good for you. And so we talk about those differences and, when you should have a partnership, when you should have an LLC, when stuff like that. So that's every month. That's the kind of stuff we talk about. So.
Yeah, we talk about a wide variety of things. I hope a wide variety of things, and cover things that maybe appeal to people at certain phases of their life more than other phases, and just we always have a good time talking about stuff.
Absolutely. Well, it's the thing with life, and you hit them at some point, and every once in a while you hit, I'll never, and then there it is. So.
Yep.
And the older you get, the more you realize how often that happens.
Yeah. So the State Bar of New Mexico requires each attorney to have what's called a succession plan.
Okay.
And it's really not so much succession as how to close the business down.
Okay.
So each attorney is required to have a plan and name another attorney to be contacted in the event the first attorney dies, has a heart attack, stroke.
So is it kind of like similar to probably like doctors or something? Like if a doctor leaves, they got to kind of come up with a plan for where their patients are going to go, kind of thing?
I don't know if they have that plan in place before it happens.
Okay.
The attorney's required to have a written plan.
Gotcha.
Of, this is, Mike Winters is going to be my attorney to come into my office. And there's a trust account. And so you got to return money to clients. You got to shut down any kind of litigation, notify the court, notify the clients, pay final bills, shut down the Facebook page, and passwords. And so each attorney is required to have this written succession plan. And families should consider the same thing.
Sure.
As opposed to, dad goes...
And that mindset, and this is probably something folks our age need to think about a little bit more, is the world's different. And so the things you think you need to include in there, you need to add to that now, especially in the digital world, the world we live in, passwords, access to, especially most people do a lot of their banking. I mean, let's face it. We used to go into the bank every week to deposit checks. I can't remember last time I walked into a bank to do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so, that's the kind of stuff you have to kind of think about now for your family.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And so I think Christmas is a good time typically because the family's together. And I wouldn't make it a morbid kind of meeting, but like a business meeting, like, JP Morgan. So the day they hired Jamie Dimon for JP Morgan, the next day they had a succession plan in place. And families just should treat this as a business deal, not as some kind of, daddy's going to die next week kind of thing.
It is a preparedness thing. It's no different than, I'm assuming, like when the families are dealing with a pregnancy and you have the go bag as you're getting in that last trimester because you never know when that moment might happen. Think of it in terms like that. This is that kind of thing. It's you're not going to need it today, but at some point you're going to need it.
What the Doors say, none of us gets out alive.
Exactly. Yeah. That's just and so to have that plan is is so important, and because it really, that's what makes these transitions from easy to a nightmare. And
Exactly.
when a guy like Matt has to get way involved more than needs to, it's because someone didn't have a plan here, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so it does, it won't take 30, 40 minutes, I don't think, and then, get the business, get her done. But I think it's good to have the talk with everybody present, as opposed to one kid, then another kid, then another kid, because now they're all going to claim they heard different things.
Sure. Absolutely.
So
I do have a question sort of in this vein, and just wondering, because of the online banking world we live in, I imagine in certain instances, maybe the kids already have access to that because maybe they're doing the finances for if it's an older parent or something like that. Obviously upon death and things like that, I mean, there's probably certain things you can and can't do till you get your power of attorneys and death certificates open up, but I'm gotta take a stab. If you already have access to it in the beginning, there's probably certain things you can bypass a little bit on there, or one of the biggest headaches is having access to things, and if you already have access to them, I know there's some legalities on. I imagine once someone dies and you moving money and all that gets into a sticky wicket situation. But,
if typically it's when parents are getting older and they're having a little memory issues, and they finally put Kim on the account to help pay bills. Well, once Kim's on the account, that solves a lot of post-death problems because Kim's on the account.
Sure. She's actually authorized to make decisions.
Yeah. So she has access to the money.
So you don't need no kind of special power of attorney to make...
Not at that point.
But that only applies to that account, though, right? That her name's on. No, any other assets, unless her names are on those two, then no.
Correct. That's correct. But... So if she's on the account, though, she can continue paying the electric bill for the house or the water bill for the house. I want to make sure the insurance for the house is maintained. Also, since her name's on the account, she gets all the money. I mean, she's her.
Technically, it's hers. If
technically, it's her account. Yeah. So it's good for the parents to. So when that happens, that's a good thing.
Of course, if you have multiple siblings, that might start another fight. But that's.
Well, that's why you have the Christmas meeting.
That's why you sit down and have the meeting to avoid all that.
Yeah, of the 5 kids, we're putting 1 kid on the account to pay our bills and stuff. And if you want them to divvy up the money 4 ways or whatever, there may not be enough money to divide 5 ways either.
Absolutely.
Especially after you're paying all those utilities and insurance and stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine at the end, once you, quote unquote, sell off the assets, if there's a house to sell or whatever, if there's any money left over there, and then when you can talk about splitting it 5 ways or whatever, or how many more ways it is. But
so on the house, hopefully mom and dad did a transfer on death deed, so that takes the house out of probate. Just having a will alone doesn't take the real estate out of probate, and real estate always forces probate because there's got to be somebody's got to be authorized to sign a deed over.
Sure.
But if we have a transfer on death deed, that takes the house out of probate. And, you can say, my 5 kids, but if one of them predeceases me, it goes to the grandchildren or not. Sometimes mom and dad pass away, there's still a hefty mortgage on the property. I mean, it's really not, the house is really not considered an asset. There's not much net worth, but that's part of the talk.
Absolutely.
That mom and dad have. We're putting Kim, the oldest child, on the bank account to help us with our bills, and there's not going to be more than $3,000 or $4,000 in there when we die, so don't get greedy.
And I would imagine, too, and this obviously depends on your family and, your relationship with everybody, and their ages, too, also come into play here, where I imagine if you're talking with your family and it's your younger children that are, old enough to understand but not old enough to make legal decisions, then you might want to kind of fill them in on this stuff, but at the same time saying, okay, in the event of this, talk to Uncle so-and-so or Aunt so-and-so, or whoever it is you designate as the person that's kind of handled your power of attorney stuff. Yeah. That way you say, okay, they're going to be the ones that tell you what to do next if I die here tomorrow, something like that.
And that's a good talk to have with minor children in an age-appropriate way. Something happened to us, then Aunt Susie's going to take care of you guys, and Uncle Bill's going to take care of the money, and, we've planned for you children to be okay if something were to happen to us. And it doesn't need, I don't think, to be any longer than that.
But I would even also say, and this is another sticky wicket and things, but you got, like, some families are like, I don't know if I die, they're gonna know what to do with this stuff, even though I explain it to them. So if you do feel that way, then use your trusted financial advisor and just tell your family member, said, look, I've given them the game plan here. Yeah. If in the event of my death, you call this person and they've got the game plan here. Even if it's as simple as that, that's at least something. Let somebody know something. But, I get it. Sometimes you're like, if I die, they're not going to be able to handle all this. This is above their pay grade here a little bit.
Well, that's why the attorney succession plan is required to be in writing.
Mm-hmm.
And so my succession plan says, this is where you can find all of my passwords.
Gotcha.
And please notify the New Mexico State Bar. Please shut down the Facebook page. These are the bank accounts where they're located.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's good for just an ordinary couple, mom and dad, have a written plan for the kids,
Absolutely.
like a will.
Yeah.
Just a written list of instructions of who gets what doesn't always accomplish that.
No, if you have kids, a will is an absolute must.
You want to get a will that says what you want,
mm-hmm.
and tell the kids, oh, by the way, it's in the safe deposit box at Pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
All you kids are on the safe deposit box, so anybody can get in there whenever we pass.
And, of course, the big thing you also do is please note any major changes in your life. You also update that will to reflect that. Anytime you have a major asset or an addition to the family or a subtraction to the family,
mm-hmm.
you need to make those changes there. So,
yeah, and if you're not treating all the children equally
mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, I think that's good to say that in advance, just so the kids know what's going on. So if it's okay, Billy Bob. Actually, you're not going to be in the will because we've helped you your entire life.
Sure.
You got your inheritance.
You got yours on the front end.
You got yours on the front end. So make arrangements, live your life accordingly.
Yeah.
Plan accordingly because you're not getting anything in the will.
Yep.
Or if there's, a special needs child that's going to get most of the money set aside, then let the other children know so they can plan accordingly.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, even the hard decisions you have to, because at the end of the day, this is the stuff that tears up families after a death or something like that, and creates a separation of that family that sometimes never heals. And if you can nip that in the bud before, that's a good thing. Even if you have to have an uncomfortable conversation to do it, or at least get people, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to say it's not going to start an argument. It might start an argument, but if you can talk about it, heal it out, and get it fixed now versus holding animosity 20 years after your death to each other, that's something we don't want either.
Yeah, I mean, by the time I was 30, I realized I wasn't going to get an inheritance from my parents.
Yeah.
For various reasons, and so I lived my life accordingly, made plans accordingly, and at least I was prepared because in my mind I knew what was going to occur.
Sure.
And just give your kids the same opportunity. And the safe deposit box, put in there, information about the car insurance
mm-hmm.
and the house insurance, because if unfortunately, most parents don't tell their kids anything. Now, I'm not saying you have to tell them this is the 401k balance,
mm-hmm.
but at least say, by the way, I have a 401k, it's at Fidelity or wherever, and there's a statement in the safe deposit box so you guys can track it down.
Yeah. By the way, that's a good way to test if you don't know how much money your kids have and you're trying to wonder if they start really sniffing the nose. And you're like, oh, they need money. They start asking me more questions about that 401k. I'm kidding. But it is a good idea to have that safety deposit box, those things. I mean, it's an off-site. So in the event your house does burn down or something, it's safe. So you've got that peace of mind too. And I know a lot of us watch movies and things and people think they store family heirloom jewelry and gold bricks and those things. And most people aren't storing that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not saying people don't, but most people are storing, paperwork like this, licenses, deeds of the house, wills, things that tell people what happens next if they're no longer here. That's what goes stored in there,
And I've had a lot of people say, well, I've got a fireproof gun safe where I have all that stuff, and that's fine, but those safes are only rated for a certain amount of heat for a certain amount of time, and then everything's going to bake like a cookie.
Not to mention, if you die and you're the only one that knows access has combination that's safe, that's it.
Yep.
Whereas at the safety deposit box at the bank, other people can, if needed to, get into that thing.
Exactly. Because, like you say, if there's a fire and you got that, oh, by the way, it's it's a fireproof, quote, gun safe.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bet there's ammo in there that's going to cook off.
Mm-hmm.
And,
if you're putting your paperwork in the same thing into that thing, and guess what? You got a big cocktail of hotness inside of that safe when you're done.
That's right.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's just too easy to go rent for. It's very cheap to usually rent a safety deposit box
40,
at a bank.
$50, a year.
A year, exactly.
A year.
So that peace of mind is just worth it. And then you go in there, and that way it's there, it's off-site, and it's, to be honest, as long as the bank's open, you can access it. That's and that's, it's just smart. It's just smart to do that.
And so that's one of the reasons why when usually the women outlive the men and find, dad passes, then mom passes, and you have mom's mail forwarded to you for at least 1 year because things like safe deposit box rentals only come once a year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So have that mail forwarded to you for at least a year.
Now, plus you get to find out all the weird junk mail your loved one got too. I remember when my mom died and we were getting mail for years, even like 3, 4, 5 years later, and it was just,
that's not uncommon.
Just I was like, oh really? just junk,
Yeah.
She was a Fingerhut junkie, so that was something before. That was kind of the internet before the internet for buying crap, kids.
So you just run the envelope, deceased, return to sender, stick it back in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just, you get a lot of GWIS information years later after that too. Just fun stuff there. A side effect of having the mail forward.
So the safe deposit box info doesn't need to have a 3-ring binder with an index page and tabs. Please don't think that, because then you'll never get around to doing it.
Unless you really are into that kind of thing, then you do that. Some people, they kind of feel better.
Some people are.
Yeah.
But most people will never get around to it.
My wife's one of those people.
And it doesn't require that. You can just throw in, the next time you pay the car insurance, just throw in a copy of what's left, or even the little card that goes in your wallet. Okay, when it expires, throw it in the safe deposit box. It says, Geico and Progressive and the account number. Poof.
Yep.
But if you're like most parents, your kids have no idea who your car insurance is with, who the house insurance is with. What? Did dad have life insurance? I don't know.
Right.
Who do you have it with? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who do we call next? I don't know.
And so that's why you have a place for all that. So when they go through, like, oh, okay, now we go, and then it makes it so much easier. But like you said, with the Christmas holidays coming up, generally speaking, because that's a time when families all together, that's usually a good time to plan something like this and sit down. And
just sit down, have the talk, in written succession plan for the family would not be a bad thing. Of these are the things to take care of. So if the husband dies, mom's not pulling her hair out and trying to wonder, when do I pay what bill? What do I do with this? What do I do with that? Leave a written instruction sheet so she knows, so she's not just left in the dark.
Yeah, and to be honest, in the world, because I remember like back when I was a kid and everything, it would be like, the father, the head of household, had his office, and then inside the desk there was the locking, and you pull out, and there's the will with all the. Nowadays, you can easily put it as a PDF on a phone and be like, all right, we're gonna, here's the email, it's sitting in the cloud in there. Go to that, and that's where it is, kind of thing. And in today's world, it's much easier and more modern to do all that kind of stuff. But just some kind of plan. You can do it as high tech as you want or as low tech as you want. But at the end of the day, it's just the moment that if you leave the earth tomorrow, what happens with the rest of the family, what goes on next, and make sure those people that you want to know know exactly, just to save a lot of headache and hassle after you're gone. It's such a good idea.
And I'd recommend it on an annual basis. So after the first couple times, it's just probably going to get shorter and shorter.
Sure.
But it's always just a good reminder of, that the box is at this bank, not that bank.
Any changes or...
Any changes.
We switched our insurance to this one now, or whatever it is, yeah.
And, here's another copy of the medical power of attorney, because from last year you probably misplaced it. pass those around, the financial power of attorney if you've got one of those, and kind of just go over things and encourage your adult children to organize their lives also.
And yeah, exactly. That was kind of where I was thinking next here is, as, especially if your children are maybe not yet married and having kids, but they're adults now and doing their own thing, use this opportunity to say, okay, what if you died tomorrow? What's going to happen with your stuff that you have? What do we need? Is it something I need to take care of? Have you thought about that yet? You need to start thinking about that for yourself. Now that you're an adult, you're on your own, you're paying taxes, you have assets now, you need to, you got to come up with a plan. If you left tomorrow, what happens to those things?
Well, it's going to be a horrible situation. The adult child's in a car wreck. And so mom and dad call, the adult child's bank, and they're going to say, well, we can't talk to you.
Yeah, that happens more often than you think. It really, college, you hear that a lot. We call a kid away at college or something, and they're now they can't. Yeah, parents, most of them, you can't call and get your kids' grades and stuff like you could in high school.
Yeah. But then, what about, the child's rent? What about the auto payment?
What happens to all that
and
stuff?
Is the car going to get paid? Where the bank's going to say, we can't talk to you. You're not our customer. Let's say the child's in a car wreck, the adult child's in a car wreck and survives. And you get, a phone call, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, your child's in the ER, and mom and dad rush to the ER and doctor says, who are you? I says, well, I'm Mommy. And says, well, good luck with that. You have the power of attorney.
Yeah, that's a grown person in there that
HIPAA laws prevent us from talking about another adult's medical care.
You need to think about it. Now, and I will tell you this from my own experience because I was in the military. When you're young and dumb and they're talking about all that stuff in basic training, and sign up for it. Yes, when they for the life insurance, you say yes. For the GI Bill, you say yes. All of that stuff, because I know you're young and dumb and don't think about it. But guess what? You just joined a career field that you really have just basically signed your life away to Uncle Sam. You might want to. I'm not trying to say you're going to die, but a person in the military, depending on your job, is a high-risk job. And so whatever assets, and guess what? Once you're in the military, there's benefits and things. Who do those go to? Where do they go? What do you do with them? And if you're just a single person, you probably don't have family or loved one or kids to disperse those to. So your parents usually get them probably when you're 18 or whatever, but that evolves over time. But when you do, please sign up for that stuff, take it, and then tell your parents. Give them the information on that. Turn that stuff over to them, or vice versa. If you are married and join the military, if you one of those folks who got married at 18 and signed on the dotted line at 19, then make sure they're in the loop on all that stuff.
Yeah, so when the kids go off to college, if they just move out on their own, as soon as they're 18, have them sign a medical POA, because otherwise mom and dad aren't going to have any involvement in that child's medical care, and it's going to be pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah, for your own sanity, parents, you need, because God forbid that thing happens. Like, I hope to God it never does, but if you get in a car accident, next thing you know, you're locked out of this situation that you have not realistically been locked out of your whole life. It's a thing, and it's one thing if they have a spouse and kids, and they kind of have their own, but it's another thing if they're, like you said, 21, 22, fresh out of college or fresh into adulthood here and still living wild and free.
That, or even, they're 28 and divorced, but now they're single. At least if they're married, the spouse will have some input as to medical information.
Absolutely.
But once they're single, mom and dad, you need to get that medical POA done.
Absolutely.
Or the medical community calls it a 5 wishes document. So whoever that child's general physician is, call up that office and say, hey, I need a 5 wishes document for my kid.
Okay. Very good. So, again, this is stuff to talk about when you have your family meeting here over the holidays here. So it's just, and if you don't have these plans in place, then maybe we should start getting them. That's the, if you don't have a thing set up, please do that. Because that, in and of itself, these family meetings could be also, because I'm sure your kids might have questions like, you know what? I don't have a plan for that. I need to address that. We're going to work on that and get, what I mean? That this does work both ways. If they've got questions, they might spark something. You know what? I don't have that base covered yet. I'll work on that now,
Yes, and I would recommend you have those forms at the family meeting and you just shove them across the table and say, okay, Timmy, you need to sign this right now.
Yep, absolutely.
or if they're married and with or without kids, by the way, do you have a will, or have you made arrangements so that your estate passes to your spouse without the will, so you can avoid probate? Have we talked about avoiding probate? Children, have we named testamentary guardians for the children? And have you and your spouse thought about this, thought about that?
Yep. It's a lot to think. And that's why we say have these meetings and go. But now that you're a couple weeks out from Christmas and you can kind of put your ducks in an order and maybe, over the holidays here, have that plan started, or at least something moving forward to at least, if you're not there yet, get the family in that direction. So.
Yeah, and I think for elderly parents, it's hard for the adult children to, well, how do I approach, mom and dad? Have they got the wills ready? Have they, got the powers of attorney done? And it's kind of an awkward way to bring up that subject. So, mom and dad, you're the adults, you're the parents. You need to bring it up.
Sure. Now, don't hesitate if you're the adult parent and thinking, adult child, I guess, and you want those answers, and hit them with it. Don't be afraid to, and say, look, I'm only doing this so it makes life easier when this happens. I don't want to get in enough argument with Cousin Sue or Bobby or whoever it is because we don't know your wishes. So,
Yeah.
Hit them that way with it if they kind of aren't forthcoming on wanting to do this stuff. Guilt's a great family tactic. I don't care what anybody says.
That's right.
If it's for the greater good, I recommend you do it.
Yeah. 'Tis the season for guilt.
That's right. Well, we're short on time here, but if we want to, we do have some time for some as our ending with fact trivia stuff.
So we got 1 minute or 2 minutes?
We got about 2-3 here.
So in ancient Greece, there was this king Tantalos.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, he was going to serve human meat at this dinner table, and I forgot what his reasoning was. But in the ancient Greek world, that's a huge, huge taboo. Okay, cannibalism is just this huge taboo.
As it should be.
As it should be. But, in the Roman way of life, they had the Colosseum, which was, killing people for sport. And the Greeks, had a real problem with that. They had a problem with suicide. The Romans thought it was okay. Anyway, so he plans this dinner, and so one of the gods of the god world disguises themselves as human and goes to the dinner and see if this guy is really going to go through with it. And sure enough, has the meat served. And so this god throws off their disguise and says, King Tantalos, this is a huge no-no. You're going to be punished for all eternity, because this is just a hugely bad thing. So his punishment is he was in a lake, but every time he would try to drink water from the lake, the water would recede.
Ah.
So he'd leave the water alone, the water would come back, and then he was very, very thirsty, and he'd reach for the water, and the water would go away. So he's never able to drink because he was thirsty all the time. And there was a fruit tree with this luscious fruit hanging down within reach, but every time he reached for it, the tree would pull the fruit away. So he could never drink the water, he could never eat. And so if something is just so close and so luscious, but we just can't get it, it's called, what word do we use to describe that?
I'm trying to think the word this connects here.
What's the king's name?
Tantalos. Tantalos, okay.
So if it's just so yummy and so close, yet so far away.
Tempting.
Tantalizing.
Okay.
Tantalize.
There it is. I was like, I'm trying to make the connection. Yeah. Tantalize.
That's where we get the word tantalize.
Ah, interesting. Very good. I'm assuming didn't end well for that guy. If you can't eat, can't
all
drink.
All eternity enough. He's screwed it. So boys and girls, don't be doing bad things.
It is. That's very true. Well, Matt, as always, if I don't see you between now and then, Merry Christmas to you and your family. And we look forward to more great information in 2026 with you.
Look forward to the new year. Thanks so much, Mike.
Thank you. And have a great holiday with your family. And we'll see you. Well, I'll see you before then, but we'll see you on the air in 2026.
Yes.
Here, so. Very good. All right.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. President Trump suggests that if Iran thinks it can reconstitute its nuclear program, it has another thing coming. He says Iran will be hit again if it tries to rebuild its nuclear infrastructure. The president spoke at yesterday's meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. The two leaders talked about implementation of Phase 2 of the Gaza ceasefire. Among other things, it calls on Hamas to disarm. The president says Hamas had better honor its commitment to lay down its arms. The president confirms a U.S. military strike on a docking facility in Venezuela where, according to Mr. Trump, illicit drugs were loaded onto boats headed for the U.S. and elsewhere. A powerful winter storm that's been pounding the plains, the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, continues its eastward march, spreading snow and ice, fierce winds and bitter cold as it goes. The Dow futures are up 4 points. More details at srnnews.com.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Why do you think that we've gone from a purple state, Florida, and it is now a deep red state? And the same thing is happening. You look at this map, and I've got it here in front of me. Where are people moving to? They're moving to places like Nevada. They don't have a state income tax there. They have low taxes in Arizona. They have low taxes in Utah. And you see a massive net gain in Texas, for example. You know, if you look at where are money and people going? I mean, if you look at income losers and winners, $1 trillion win for my free state of Florida. We don't have a state income tax. Half the property tax of New Jersey. We don't have high gas taxes. We don't have high sales taxes. We don't have any of this.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Hey, with everything going on in the world right now, this is the perfect time to take a step back, give thanks for what matters the most: family, freedom, opportunity, the ability to take control of your financial future. And that is exactly why I want to tell you about something big. When you buy gold and silver through HannityGold.com, you'll get an extra 1% in free silver on qualified purchases from my friends over at Goldco. If you protect $100,000 of your savings with precious metals, you normally get $10,000 in free silver or gold. This month only, you'll get $1,000 more. Now, this bonus has no limits. It's the strongest offer Goldco has ever put out to date. It won't. So if you've been waiting for the right time, the right moment, this is it. Take control, help protect your savings, and give thanks. Call Goldco at 855-815-GOLD, or just go to HannityGold.com today. That's 855-815-GOLD or HannityGold.com.
With the Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales. A feel-good holiday story is a running back unemployed at the start of training camp who on Christmas rushed for the first 100-yard game of his career. More on Malik Davis after this.
Whether you're getting ready to purchase a home, setting up a college fund for your kids, or preparing for retirement, you're working hard to live a life you love. And you deserve peace of mind knowing your home, loved ones, and future are protected. At SWBC, we can help you assess your personal situation and create a customized solution to make sure you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Visit SWBC.com to learn about your mortgage, insurance, and wealth management options today.
Cowboys Nation is big because everything's bigger in Texas. And Reliant has the energy to power it all. From home field advantage to home sweet home, Reliant has Dallas Cowboys fans all across the Lone Star State covered for every electric moment this season and beyond. Reliant, proud to be the official energy provider of your Dallas Cowboys.
Reliant, PUCT number 10007.
One of the top performances of this season by a Cowboy is running back Javonte Williams, who topped 1,000 rushing yards and has 13 touchdowns. But when he got hurt in the Christmas Day win at the Commanders, backup Malik Davis stepped in and topped 100 yards for the first time in his career. Even though Malik had suffered an eye injury during the game, he wanted to stay on the field after Dak Prescott told him he was oh so close to 100 yards.
I didn't know at all until he told me in the huddle. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get this. So he just put that in my head. I'm like, I can't come out.
Coach Schottenheimer said yesterday that even though there are no playoff implications in Sunday's game, expect Dak Prescott to get some playing time when the Cowboys and Giants kick off Sunday at noon Central. With your Cowboys Report, I'm Christy Scales.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A little bit of cloud cover early today, but we get more sunshine toward afternoon, and we're headed for the mid-40s to low 50s. Overnight, a few clouds, mid-20s, and then we get sunshine on Wednesday, mid-50s on the afternoon high. A few clouds on Wednesday night, and then a mix of sun and clouds New Year's Day. We will have a little bit of sunshine, though, our high in the upper 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Strong winter weather is affecting travelers across the United States, and many people continue their post-Christmas travel. Snow and high winds have been hitting the Midwest and Great Lakes, while the winter rainstorm is hitting the northeastern parts of the South. Hundreds of flights in the United States were canceled, and thousands were delayed by at least 15 minutes. That's according to FlightAware. Say goodbye to the Metro card on the New York City subway system. Like the subway token, the card is riding into the sunset as the transit system fully transitions to a contactless payment system that allows the riders to tap their credit card, phone, or other smart device to pay their fares. Louis Gerstner, the former CEO and chairman of IBM, died on Saturday. He was 83 years old. He is credited with turning IBM around. Peers say his leadership reshaped the company. Gerstner moved to IBM from being CEO of RJR Nabisco in April of 1993. He retired in 2002. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Chris Stegall is now in